bum ba boom ba bum ba boom ba boom ba ba boom ba do 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 da 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 cha sha sha. Ooh.
Wow, wow, wow. Sing it to me, Kirby. Whoa. Alchemic, what's up?
Oi. Alchemic, how are you doing? Let me see. Music seems a mite loud. There we go. Alchemic, how has your Sunday been? Have you been up to some gaming shenanigans? Absolute gaming shenanigans. Let me see. You're still playing Final Fantasy. I mean, that's like a constant, right? That's like it's like the game that keeps on giving. The game keeps on giving, just like Cookie Run. Cookie Run and Final Fantasy. What am I doing here? What are you doing here, Linz? Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said I was gonna stream today. What? I said I was gonna stream today. We were gonna play some game or something. What do you mean? What are you doing here, Linz? Hi there. It's good to see you. Oh, you were playing League. Nice. Okay, so League, Final Fantasy, and Cookie Run are those are the constant games in your life. Those are the games that keep on giving the little blessings. I think the only one. You didn't realize I was gonna stream today? Well, I just thought that it'd be nice to hang out for a little bit. I thought it'd be nice, like it'd be fun. It'd be fun to at least hang out for a bit. I thought that we'd like maybe check out some games and stuff. That we'd look around and see like what we could get excited about. The mods are like, get out. No, y'all are just like, what are you doing here? I understand. Look. Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing here, but I like hanging out with you guys, okay? All right, until I've got to fix this community, okay? I got to fix the Discord community so that we can hang out, even if I'm not streaming. Because I just want to chill with you guys and, like, talk about stuff and play games and stuff. Like, I like to imagine that while I'm playing games, either y'all are playing games, like, alongside me, or you're just like chilling in the background, watching some games, you know, like you're sitting on my couch or something. We're just hanging out. We're just. Oh, Emerald Artist, thank you so much for the sub. Oi. Thank you for the 16 months. Hey, thank you, Kay.
Gonna lurk while I D&D plan before our session in 50 minutes.
Ooh, D&D sessions, noise. Thank you for the lurk. That sounds like fun. Ooh. So. D&D plans. So are you're the dungeon master? That's super cool. Oi. I have never dungeon mastered before, but I did complete my first D&D campaign recently, and it was loads of fun. You are okay. Emerald Artist is the serious, like, important player in this situation. This is important. That's so much fun. Emerald Artist, do you do voices in your campaign? Do you like try to embody the characters, or are you more like a narrator? I'm kind of curious. I don't want to keep you from your work though. So just tell me to shut up if you need me to. Just don't answer my questions. Don't answer that. That was a trick question. Also, hey, Shiny, what's up? Oi. Shiny. I hope you're doing well. Oh, we're broken? We are very broken. I'm just saying. I was just saying that it would be fun to do more gaming as groups and stuff like that. Cause like I've had loads of fun playing 7 days. I've been playing 7 Days to Die with Anne. Hi there, Anne. What's up? With Anne, Lynn's, Calico, Electrojack, Opes. Like I've been having fun playing games with friends and I want to hang out. But did you see that they're removing building in Fortnite for a season? What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling. They're removing building in Fortnite for a season. Can that be like a permanent thing? If they make that a permanent thing, I will try to play that game. Listen, that game is so difficult for me. I hate the building so much. I never want to learn how to build. Wait, if they're removing the building, that would be fun. Hang on. Yesterday I did League, all right, Final Fantasy, and Apex, but you're so bad at Apex, I doubt I'll keep that in my rotation. Apex is so rough. It's so difficult to kill anybody in Apex. Listen, I don't know if y'all are Apex gamers out there, but the like time to kill in that game is so long because everybody has like gigantic shields. So you have to hack away at the shield, then you have to hack away at the health. It takes forever. And in Call of Duty, it's just like one bullet and they're dead. You just go pop, and then you die. You have to build in Fortnite? Do you have to build in Fortnite? I thought it was a shooter game. The only thing that sets Fortnite apart from the competition is the building. That is it. Also, Miss Obi, what's up? Miss Obi, welcome back. Oi, we got some blinkies in the chat. And how's your day going?
Yeah,
what's this? Hey, Chaotic Neutral M, thank you so much for the sub. Oi, ever closer to the cooking stream. Ever closer. We're slowly crawling up. All right, listen. This sub goal, it's going until the end of March, and then it's changing out for something else. All right. This is March only sub goal, and then otherwise I'm switching it. I'm switching it to something. Ah! It's still a background. It's horrible. That's horrible. That doesn't even match. That doesn't even match the background. It's so confusing. Also, when did that sub goal get there? It's been here for a few days. The sub goal's been here for a few days. If we don't reach it, no big deal. It's just the March. It's the March sub goal, and if we don't make it, then I'll make a different goal. Okay, a different goal that's probably like maybe a little bit lower. We'll see. And what? I see some new redeems. 5 pull-ups. 5 pull-ups right now. I thought that we were gonna like look at Kirby games. I thought that we were gonna like study the gaming industry and figure out what's coming out soon. Thanks a lot, Ann. I guess I'm gonna do some workout. Hey. Also, Jess Rassic Park. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. Sarah Johnson. Oi. How are you doing? Independent Oreo. Welcome in. Chaotic Neutral. Thank you again for the 10 months. I super appreciate it. I hope you've been having a good day and a good week. The Big Crybaby. What's up? Nice to meet you. Hi there. Hello there, fellow Crybaby. It's wonderful to meet you. What is the silliest thing that you've ever cried at, the Big Crybaby? That's a question for everybody. I cry all the time. It isn't like, not like real crying, just like I tear up from a lot of media. I didn't from Turning Red though. We watched Turning Red as a group yesterday, and it didn't like hit me super hard, but that was a good movie. What did you guys think about that? Okay, I'm gonna do my 5 pull-ups. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Ann. All right, 10 pull-ups. There we go. Thanks a lot for the pull-ups. I appreciate it. You're welcome. So don't challenge Linz to an arm wrestling competition. What? Linz, did you break somebody's arm? Nice. You need to get swole so that we can fight in June? I am not going to fight anybody. I am not fighting anyone. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There'll be no fighting. I'm a little bit winded. Those pull-ups. Those pull-ups sticking out of me. All right, I need a sip. I need a sip from the. Why? Linz, why did you send me this? Did you send me this because you knew that I'd use it? What's the meaning of this? Is this like what I should get for merch? Is this an example of what you want as merch? All right. Moist Pikachu. You don't have to fight, Kenny. You could just be beat up. Yeah, I will be beat up by the mods. That's okay with me. That's okay with me, all right? Eldritch Corvid, what's up? Hey, now wait a second. Eldritch Corvid. There is another Corvid that has been taking roost around here, and they were looking for their bird friends. They were... Oh my god. This is what I get for not working out ever. Oh no. Okay, I was gonna say we've got a bird community that we're working on, Eldritch, and maybe your bird friend can show up. Maybe we can have multiple birds. Okay, I'm just changing up how this sits so that I can look at y'all better. I can see y'all better. Yay! Also, guess what I managed to collect without realizing it until my brother pointed it out. Wait, what? You managed to collect something? Emerald, what are you playing? Are you playing a game? Are you playing a game, or did you collect something like in real life? Also, Frulio, how are you doing? Hi! Gonda's here too. Oi! Gonda, how are you doing? Oh my goodness. Gonda's been a busy bean. I'm so proud of you, Gonda. I'm so proud of you. I hope you're having a great time. Hope you're having a good time. Frulio made the new blankies. You guys, please, could we get a shout out for Frulio? Can we get a shout out for Frulio, the artist of our new blankies emote? The blankies emote is so cute. It's bigger on this screen. Hello. Wah, 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 wah. It's so cute. I love him. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, you think he's saying mama, mama, mama. Ma. It just kind of looks like that. I love it. He's so adorable. Wait a second. Turning red hit all the right notes for you, especially with the Chinese representation. It made you tear up a couple of times. That's so sweet. I mean, Turning Red was good. It was good. I found it very funny. I liked the one character with the purple overalls that was causing nothing but trouble. She was pretty funny. I did like her a lot. And the movie, the Turning Red cuts so deep. I think I mentioned that a few times though. I did mention that while we were watching it. Turning Red, I can see why some people didn't like it, because it was kind of cutting deep. It was like hitting the topics. I was proud of it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think that it had good takes. But it was too edgy for a bunch of babies, and I like that. That's much better. You can only win cheap shots. Wait, what? What did Alchemic do? What did Alchemic get up to? Wait a second. You had your hands on 12 special shiny Pokemon cards and you never realized it? Wait, what? You had Pokemon cards and you didn't realize how rare they were? What is special shiny? Is that the items? You had 12 special shiny Pokemon cards and you never realized it. You just like kept them in a bag. What is this? Who is that? Minnie! Thank you for the 20 months. Oi! Can we get some blankies in the chat? Can we get some blankies in the chat? Hey, thank you, Minnie. Thank you. How are you doing, Minnie? We need to play some Minecraft soon. We gotta play some Minecraft soon, because I'm not playing Final Fantasy. Oi, Formulando, how are you doing? What's up? Oi, oi, oi. Animal Crossing Alley, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Miss Obi, you were saying you were wondering if I had merch. I don't have any merch yet, but I am working on getting some stickers. And also, I have new art that I'll show off right now. I think, okay. I'm just gonna open these all up in Windows in like different, I'm gonna open them up in Windows so that I don't show this. Oh, yo, Serpent Mythos, what's up? How are you doing? Oi, oi, Serpent Mythos, thank you for the 20 months.
Your hair has gotten so long. It looks good.
Oi, oi, thank you so much. What? The hair looks good? That's so sweet. Thank you very much. We've been growing this hair out, all right? It's been a whole channel. We've been working together. We've been working together on growing this hair out. I was bald a little bit more than a year ago now. I shaved it on January 1st. I think that the last time that I shaved it with a razor was on like January 10th or something. But it went from fully shaven to now it's getting pretty long. It's getting pretty long. I'm looking like I might try to fix your tire or something. Might try to fix your tire. I might be on the side of the road trying to help out a neighbor. Like a good neighbor, Earl Farm is there. Serpent, how are you doing? Thank you so much. You're doing well. You just got back from camping in the desert. In the desert? Wait a second. What do you eat out in the desert? I hope that you brought enough food. Desert camping is the best? I don't think I've ever been out in the desert before. I don't think I've ever been out in that desert. Yeah, there's no deserts in Texas that I know of. I have driven through deserts, but I've never gotten outside. I've never gotten outside of the car whenever it's that time. Hello everyone, I'm good. Oh my god, yes, please, Minecraft time. Minnie, I'm working on it. I'm playing more games with friends. I've been having a great time. And honestly, the trouble is how to manage the time. How do you manage time whenever there's so many games to play? There's so many games to play. How do I play them all? I would like y'all to help me out, okay? Do y'all have any tips on how to play more games? Also, World of Robbie, how are you doing? Kenneth! Oi, 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 it's me! I'm way behind on chat. Hooray! Hooray! Milwaukee, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Formulando, I'm okay. First Formula One race of the season was today, and it was good. How is everyone else? That's so sweet of you to ask. Yeah, Formulando, I remember you mentioning F1 in the chat the other day, and everybody was like, "What is that? What is F1? What do you mean race? What do you mean win? What do you mean podium?" But I understood what you meant, Formulando. Have I ever watched Formula One? I've watched like this much. I've watched like a teeny tiny bit. I think it's way more interesting than NASCAR, but that's about it. My Lord Earl, it's Milwaukee. Oh my goodness, Milwaukee. How are you doing? What is up? Oi, 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 oi. It's my manga friendo. It's my friendo that can recommend good mangas to me. Oi, do you have any good recommendations? Got any recommendations for me to read? Serpent Mythos. Oh, I already read that. Yes, yes, yes. Camping in the desert. World of Robbie says, desert camping is the best. Is that true? A lot of canned food. A lot of baked beans. Wait a minute. Also, hi there, Yui. Rosewood. Did I hear Minecraft? Minecraft is pretty fun. I do like Minecraft with a purpose. I like Minecraft with a purpose. I don't know. I don't know how people play Minecraft as much as they do. I don't understand. I get bored of it kind of quick, but I do love the community aspect. That is really cool. So maybe I should like watch more Minecraft content and I'd play it. Yeah, Minecraft is awesome. You played it till 5 a.m. What kind of Minecraft is y'all's favorite to play? That's a question for everybody. If you play Minecraft, what is your favorite to play? Do you like playing multiplayer maps that have like challenge modes and archery? Do you like playing single player, completely vanilla? Do you like to play modded? Do you play on a server with people? You like building? Okay. Do you build in survival, or do you build in creative? Also the all-knowing cheese. What's up? Some of these usernames hurt me deeply. Yeah, most of Texas is desert. What? No, it's not. It's not. Listen, it's not technically a desert. It's just because it's flat and barren and can't grow soil and nobody lives there and the wildlife are dangerous does not make it a desert. But it is awfully close. Okay, there. I live in the desert in Texas. It's called El Paso. No, see, that's not a real desert. That's just a nice city. That's just a nice place to visit. Just kidding. I shaved my head in March last year and my hair is about the same length. It's weird how hair grows. Yeah, my hair does not grow very, very quickly, I don't think. I think it's kind of slow. It's kind of like lazy hair. My hair be kind of lazy with it. Earl Minecraft server win. I actually pay for a server monthly. I believe I'm still paying for it, or did I pause the subscription? I think that I paused it, but I do have a server for Minecraft. I think I might make a custom server that I can put like multiple games on. Not sure, because I'd like to play 7 Days to Die with anybody that has it. Everybody's invited to that, and PvP should be on. Of course. Daily reminder that Toy Story 4 came out in 2019. So 2 to 3 years ago. And Moana is 6 years old. What? No, Moana's not 6 years old. No way. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Not for a moment. Not for a moment. Trying to trick me. I won't fall for this. It is 6 years ago. Wow. That's hurtful. That's hurtful. It's ya geek freak. That's hurtful content, and I would like you to not share that anymore. I cannot believe that it's six years. Oof! No! The pain! Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you guys. Nothing about Moana. I wasn't even thinking about this. How dare you? 6 years and you still haven't seen it? It's good. It's good. This is a good movie. Why don't you watch it? Why don't you watch anything, Linz? You didn't even watch Turning Red with us whenever I gave it to you for free. I streamed it for free. Oh, well, kind of free. It was available and you skipped it on purpose. I think you don't like movies. I think that's a fact. Linz doesn't like movies, all right? I'm learning more and more every day. Also, Monster, what's up? Hey, yo. I hope you're doing well. Nowaki, you missed the movie? I didn't remember seeing you. Oh, no. The movie was really good. I really liked it. Turning Red is good. Turning Red is good. You should watch it if you want to watch it. If you're interested, you should see it because Turning Red is indeed good. It is indeed good. Yeah. It was great. I mean, it's kind of a kid's movie. It feels like a kid's movie. It doesn't feel that deep or anything, or it's deep for a kid's movie. And it's a very comfy movie. It's very cute. Very cute. The internet was bad at Sid's house. Oh no. Do you guys do movie parties? Yeah, we just started again, finally. We've watched ooh, I wish that we had a count. I wish that we had a count of how many movies we've watched together. But we've definitely watched, okay, I'm gonna make an estimation. We've at least watched 40 movies, right? Right? Don't you guys think that we've seen at least 40? Or is that maybe a little too high? I don't know, but we've watched a lot of movies together. We watched all of the Ghibli movies. We watched you'd say upwards of 50? Okay, so I am in the area. I'm in the area. But yeah, we used to watch them weekly. Then I had to take a break last year because I was all burnt out. And we just finally watched another movie together. I'm still scheming. I did go to Oopsie's movie night right after this one, and everyone just muted themselves and then hung out after the movie. So I'm thinking I might free it up again. We used to have way too many people in movie night for us to not mute everybody, because some people do not know how to mute, and they make quite a rumpus indeed. Lynn's come June. You're watching Moana. I don't care what you say. Yeah. It's getting streamed. We're watching it on a phone. If we have to, we'll be at a cafe with it on the phone. Moana's on the phone. Turn it up. Don't mute me, Vonchik. You're supposed to mute yourself. See, this is the problem. Vonchik. You're supposed to mute yourself. Mute yourself right now. I'm just kidding. How are you doing? Vonchik. Oi. Is it on the Discord server? Yes. Movie nights are subscriber only. It's just another like little special thing that I can do for subbies. I'm bringing my laptop. We're gonna be watching Moana. It's true. Some people don't know when to stop talking when the movie is going either. It's not open mic night. Hey, we're trying to riff on this movie. I think that I set a bad example for that, TBH. So if we do movie nights with like mics turned on, quote unquote, we'll just like say, everybody mute your mic, and I'll mute mine, and I won't say a word until the end of the movie. That seemed to really work out well with the movie night that I was just in. I think it was because I was talking. I need to shut my gob and tell everybody to mute their mics. Oh, I was gonna show off art. I was gonna show off some new art that we have. Some of this might be stickers, depending on what y'all think about it. But this is new panels, and I've already paid for them. They're all tweaked. They're tweaked. If I need to change some like colors or anything, then Anne's gonna help me out. But we do have some new squirrely art. And yeah, I'm thinking some of these are gonna be stickers. Some of these are stickers. Just following the leader, it's true. Here's some of the new art. Ow! Look at that baby! Oh my goodness. Whoa, too close. I can't believe it. Look at that baby! Oh, baby. He's so cozy. This would be so cute as like a little window peek. A little peek out the window, like on your car window. Haha. Squirrely. This is just basic squirrel. Vanilla baby. I actually think that this is the only one that won't work as a sticker. It wouldn't have all this panel or anything. It wouldn't say like about me. It would just be the squirrel. But this is the about me squirrel. Oh no, I want to save the alert squirrel for later. The artist squirrel. This one's one of my favorites. Look at this baby. Oh my goodness. Now this could be a sticker. Now that's a sticker. Look at that baby. He loves you. He drew you a picture. We don't know what his picture is though. We haven't figured it out. We haven't translated the ancient texts and figured out what is on this page yet. But I can maybe doodle something in here, like a little stick man or something. A little stick man. I think I'm gonna show y'all maybe one more. I'll show you one more. I'm gonna save some of these and just put them at the bottom of the screen. But I wanted you to see them. They're so cute. You can add a little gnome on the paper. It's true. Oh, it looks, yeah, he's hiding behind his drawing. I know. He's shy because he's not used to drawing. This is my first drawing. Please be gentle. Okay, I'm going to show one more. This is honestly the one that I wanted to show. Oh no. Not this one. No, squirrel. No, not anthro squirrel. This is, I'm gonna close the rest of them. I just wanted to give y'all a peek. Anthro squirrel, he's dressed up. No, he's wearing clothes. No, not to be trusted. I can't believe it. I can't believe this channel's turned into a furry channel. Help, you guys, please. Somebody stop me. I couldn't listen. I wasn't the one that came up with this. It was Anne's fault. It was Anne's fault. Anne said that it could be a postman. It's postman squirrel. Postman squirrel, come to deliver your box. New art. Hey, Tayaki, what's up? Oi. Tayaki, how are you doing? Oi. Oh my God, he's not naked. I know. He's fully dressed. He's dressed to impress. Oh, I didn't even zoom in on this. And this is so cool. I love this logo. I wasn't even paying attention. That looks really good. I love it. It's got detail. This is the squirrel delivery service. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love him. I love him. These are so cute. I know. Lemonberry, how are you doing? Oi, 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 oi. And Human One, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Human One and I streamed. Yay! I was on Human One stream. I was so happy. Yay! We played, can we get a shout out for Human One, please, right now? Human One. On their channel, we played some Bigfoot, and then I got suckered into playing Devour as well. And Devour was horrifying. I was jump scared. So if you wanna see me get jump scared more, you should go over to Human One's channel. This works to promote my friend and also to pressure them into playing more games with me. It's perfect. It's a perfect storm. Also, what the heck? I heard that Fortnite is going to disable building for a little while. I hope that's true, because I will definitely play with OT now. It was just the building that was the problem. But Human One, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day. We're kind of just chilling. I was showing off some Ant art, as you said. Ant art is very obvious, very easy to see. Very lovely. Oh my God, he's not naked. I mean, not really. He does not have a, I mean, he hasn't covered his tail. Very scandalous. You gotta cover up that tail. Get a blanket. You did amazing in Devour. Oh my gosh, I did amazing at getting devoured. Thank you. That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. I thought I did a great job being devoured. Thank you. Yes. Nom 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 nom. I did get killed like 3 times, and it was very fun. I got jump scared the bejeebas out of me. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is what I want to play right now. Can we play this right now, you guys? Can I? Do any of y'all have an uncle that lives at Nintendo headquarters or something? Because I want to play this game. Kirby got that dumpy. We could play this demo. I did play the demo once, but I kind of like just sped run through it. We could play the Kirby demo. I'm kind of tempted. 5 more days. 5 more days. Would y'all be interested in watching the demo? Do you want to see the demo for this game? Do you want to see what kind of dubious creatures are in here? Surely y'all have seen this. The demo. Surely you've already played this game, right? Join Kirby in a brand new game where you can run around. This is all in the same engine as, what's it called? As Mario Odyssey, I think. Look at all this nonsense. It's so pretty. I can't believe it. You love the demo? Okay, the all-knowing cheese has played the demo. All right. You love the demo. Are you going to be picking up the game on release day? I'm interested. Lemonberry, how are you doing, by the way? I hope you're having a great day. Sorry for the confusion, everybody. I didn't know that I was streaming today, okay? I didn't know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, okay? All I know is that I love hanging out with y'all, and I do like playing video games, so that's all I know. That's my complete knowledge. My complete knowledge is that y'all are great, and I like playing games. So past that, not really sure what we're doing here. Oh yeah, and also the Kirby. Oh no, Kirby just eats bread. I want a Kirby remix game where Kirby can only eat bread, and it's just called Kirby, and he's extra large. If you pre-order from Amazon, it's $5 cheaper. What? But will it arrive on the correct day? Does Amazon do that like... Amazon does that like on-day delivery, right? Would it arrive the right day? Because I do think that I want to pick up the hardware version. I don't think I'm going to play it at midnight like a madman. I don't think we're going to be doing that. Oh, it says Prime? Okay, well... I'll either do that or maybe I'll get it from GameStop. I'm not sure, but I'll get the physical edition day 1. And we will definitely, as soon as this game comes out, we're just gonna play the heck out of it. We're gonna play the heck out of this game. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it big time, you guys. I'm feeling big Kirby vibes at the moment. We're definitely gonna get every single Waddle Dee. We're gonna collect every Waddle Dee. We're gonna play this entire game. almost as fast as possible because this looks so much fun. And I played the demo and it's so good. Hey, yo, Darren, how are you doing? It's been a minute since I've seen you. I hope you've been doing well, my friend. Hope you've been doing well. Getting some work done. Oi, 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 Darren, how's the new job? How's the new job going? And the house search too. Oh my God. Oh my God, 2 things at the same time. How's the house search? How is the new job? I hope you're enjoying it. Dim it, Lion, what's up? Oi, 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 what's up, Lion? I hope you're doing well. Oi, 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 oi. Did I see you at movie night last night? Were you there? Were you there, Lion? I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention good enough. Starting at 8 a.m. for work? Yikes. You used to go to bed at 7. You're used to going to bed at the time that now you have to wake up. Oh my God. Darren, no. No. Started at 8 a.m. for work. Used to go to bed at 7 a.m. Oh my God. You could always just make it. You could make it work though by just sleeping 1 hour, right? Is that an option? I mean, thankfully humans can change your sleep schedules pretty easy. Thankfully, that's the thing. That's the thing. It just takes like what, 1 day? I guess it's a little bit different for everybody, but it takes like me maybe 2 days, something like that. The apartment search is still ongoing, still looking. I've been kind of peeking around myself. I've been peeking around because, yeah, I really hope that you can find some affordable housing, my friend, because housing is a mess right now. An absolute mess. Waddle Dee Town, I know, it's so cute. And you get to, and as you collect Waddle Dees, then the town gets bigger and you could do more things. Like, it's got a boss rush Coliseum so that you can like refight the bosses. I know that they've got shops. I'm sure that they have like stickers that you can collect or something. So there's probably like a sticker shop or a museum or something. But Waddle Dee Town is not in the demo, so I don't really know how it functions. But you're supposed to collect the Waddle Dees, and then the town gets upgraded. That is when I knew I had to flip and play this game. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, and a mini game. I want to play that with Opst. I wanna go 1v1 Opsty. I want a 1v1. Maybe we can do that while Opsty visits in April. We can definitely play some like local co-op. That would be very fun. Waddle Dee Town. Also, Drex, what's up? Hey, Drex. Oi, oi, oi. It was nice watching the movie with you last night. Drex, I'm sorry for like spying on y'all. I promised that I was like talking in the voice chat later, but I was like busy eating food. So we need to like chill and talk together sometime. We definitely will be like in a voice call where I'm actually talking at some point. Yeah, we watched, I watched for the first time, what is it called? The, hello! I'm trying to remember. What's the name of it? What is it? It's called, Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire is very funny. It was very funny and slightly problematic. But it is, but it is really good. It was very funny. I loved it. I loved it. It would be that'd be cool. I can't believe you guys are still up at 10 a.m. Don't tell anybody that. We were up at 10 a.m. It was okay. I met a lot of new people there. All right. I'd never been able to meet or talk to anybody that was there except for Opst and Brad. Those were the only people that I knew. So I was trying to get to know Opsty's friends. I'm trying to integrate myself into a social network. Rosera, what's up? Oi, oi, oi. It's good to see you. Mrs. Doubtfire was one of your favorite movies as a kid. It's very funny. But it's also, it doesn't seem like a kid's movie. Like it's I don't know. It seems pretty adult, right? I thought it was very funny though. I enjoyed it. I'm trying to remember like parts of the movie that really stood out to me. Also, Lion, you said that your girlfriend watched? Oh, you were watching behind her with popcorn. Oh, okay. Your girlfriend was watching. Nice, but you were really watching together. That's adorable. Also, Mars Mud, what's up? Sleep schedules. Sleeping on a schedule sounds fake. Wait a second. I don't know Mars Mud. I think I've heard of this before, but I have no confirmation that it exists. Does anybody have a sleep schedule? I thought that we don't have sleep schedules. We have like work schedules. Isn't that how it works? Like you have to wake up for work, but I don't know if that's a real sleep schedule. Did you see the little cat things? Yeah, they're so furry and cute, but I love these things. I want to see more of them. Look at them. They look like little Kirby cats. They've got Kirby faces, but with cat ears and a cat tail. I think that there's a better close-up later of those things, but there's so many fluffy things in this game, and the graphics like make everything look extra fluffy. I even want to pet Waddle Dee. I want to pet Waddle Dee because I don't know, they look so smooth. I feel like they would have like a slight felt texture to them. They're called Scarfies. Oh, that's cute. Scarfies. They look like little Kirby cats. There they are. They're in the background. Show them to me. Where is the Scarfie? No, I want to see the Scarfies up close. They're so cute. Yeah, they're up at the top. There it is. Hi.
Boyo. Boyo.
Cute. Did it already come out? This game? No. This game's coming out in like 5 days. 5 days. I need a. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna pre-order it. Awkward. There's blankies in the chat. Yay! Blankies. But no, it's coming out soon. We're gonna play it as soon as it comes out. We're playing it day one. Have a sleep schedule in this economy. Shucks. This economy. I love how the economy determines the bedtimes. This is a historical fact. Drex, you go to bed at 2:30 every night. I mean, that is a sleep schedule. Look. Some people work the graveyard shift. Some people stay up till 2:30. I mean, listen, that sounds like a good schedule. Is that working out for you? Is it working well? It's nostalgia watching it with my family because they loved it too. Some parts are funny as a kid, but I do agree it has adult themes. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't know, kids got to learn eventually. That's what I kind of think. That's what I think. I think kids, you know, they gotta learn one way or another, and they might as well learn from Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire is gonna teach them everything. I don't know. I'm trying to remember like my favorite part of the movie. I'm not good at remembering movies. I'm like good at remembering details. So I can remember like detailed scenes and like exactly where people were standing and some exact quotes, but I can't. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I'm trying to think of like a scene that I loved or something. I guess my favorite thing in Mrs. Doubtfire is that the protagonist is great. Like I love the dad. He's so wholesome. He's so wholesome, and I like that. Spoiler alert: they don't get back together at the end. That was really cool. I really like that. I felt like they were gonna do some like cheap relationship thing at the end where they're like, oh, I guess we have to live together for these stinking kids, but they didn't. They were just like, sometimes it don't work out, but we still gonna take care of these kids. Have we finished Zelda Majora's Mask yet? We have not. We have not finished it. It is a hard game, and it is also confusing as heck. I don't know. Majora's Mask is it's a little bit whack. I think that I think it's a good game, but the mechanics are like really strange. I feel like you have to have a lot of patience for that, and I have not been extremely patient recently. Which is weird because I have the patience for Elden Ring, but not for Majora's Mask right now. It's really twisty. The game's really twisty, and like you have to. I feel like a wiki is necessary. Majora's Mask comes from like an era of gaming that I get confused with. I don't know if it's because I'm a young person and I'm not used to it, but I'm used to games being easier. I feel like older games are like obtuse. Oi! Like they
Anonymous
also anonymous. What the heck?
33 cents. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you for the fun and vibes.
Hey, thank you, Anonymous, for the $3. What the heck? Thank you. That's so generous. Thank you. I appreciate it. Happy Sunday for the fun vibes. Of course, I got you. We got the vibes. We got the vibes on tap over here. What was I saying? Oh, Majora's Mask. Like the older games, I feel like their game design is a little bit obtuse. It feels almost like they're trying to pad out the game. Like, I don't know. I mentioned it before while I was playing it, but like ye olden games would be like arcade machines that were trying to steal as many tokens as possible. So difficulty in games was extremely high. And then I feel like they started making. I'm trying to do this full screen. It won't let me zoom in. But I feel like they started making games that, like, I don't know, would still give you like extra content. And there wasn't much room on the cartridges, so they had to make everything like ridiculously hard. And like they would just hide things in places that had no visual like cues or anything. I don't know. I feel like Majora's Mask dips into that a little bit. Like some of the things just don't make any sense. It's not obvious what you need to do, and you kind of need to just look it up. Obtuse, it's true. Old games were not hand-holdy. Yeah, I mean, you can say it like that. You can say it like that if you want to. That's true. Hand-holdy, just another word for good game design, but all right. It comes from where they valued exploration and gameplay over accessibility. Listen, it's not necessarily accessibility, I don't think. I feel like it's also broadness of appeal, because some people don't want to walk around in some stupid low poly town for 30 minutes looking for something that they don't even know what they're looking for. Listen, I like goals, all right? I like getting things done, you know? Oh my God, the ducks. I didn't notice that the first time we watched that. The ducks! Do you help them? Do you help them cross the road? Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Berbers. You used a guide with Zelda games? Yeah, see, I feel like that was necessary. I feel like a guide and a wiki are necessary. Otherwise, you just spend a ton of time. Like, you can do it. You can do it, but it just takes a ridiculous amount of time. I mean, I even used a guide on a GameCube game, didn't I? It's true, I did, because I couldn't find that stupid blue coin. I wonder if Kirby can eat the ducks. No! No, Kirby cannot eat the ducks. Absolutely not. I don't have any confirmation, but he cannot eat them. He cannot eat them. Maybe he can transfer them like a pelican. Like the pelican in Finding Nemo, where he's like, hop in my mouth. And Marlin's like, I don't know. I don't know. This does not look like an aquarium. And he's like, hop in, I swear I won't swallow. But maybe Kirby can transfer them, but there's no way he eats the ducks. That's horrible. You hurt my feelings. Some fun is finding Easter eggs, but not too much. It is true. There is a unique feeling of finding something in a game that you know that the developers hid for you. But I feel like that can be like called secrets or something. I don't know. I don't feel like it should be the main storyline. Beep boop beep boop beep. Will lurk while drinking beer and eating homemade beer hot dogs. Yo, Chef Kitty, enjoy your lurk. Enjoy your lurk. Sunday. I don't think I'm gonna get any litty tonight. I don't think so. I was a little litty last night. I think I better take it easy. I don't know. Maybe if we get into like some Elden Ring or something towards the end, then I might partake, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm not really, I think tonight's gonna be like a shorter stream. I just kind of want to hang out with you guys. I wanted to hang out, all right? I'm needy. You can ask Ghost if you have any doubts in your mind. I'm definitely a needy person, okay? I needed to talk to you guys, okay? There's so much to say. And I'm not sure what it is, but I'll figure it out as I go along. I don't know if I want this game. Have you played the demo, Drex? Have you played the free demo on surely you have. Surely you have. I found it very fun. Delphina, thank you for the raid. Hey, Drex, you should download it. Oh, I kind of want to play this demo right now. It's pretty short. Would y'all be down to watch this, or were y'all like super hyped for a community game or something? Because I did say that we might play a community game, and I'm not fully convinced that we're not going to. I don't know. I just haven't seen like a lot of public outcry about it. I haven't seen y'all being like, when are we playing the games? Delphina, you were playing Stardew Valley. How was the Stardew Valley? Nice. We just started a new Stardew Valley town, and I kind of want to play some more of it. I want to play some more of it. Maybe not tonight though. Not tonight. Oi, oi, oi. But thank you so much, Delphina. I hope you had a great time. If you wanna tell me about your Stardew town, please do. But if you need to go get yourself some food, I understand. This Kirby looks fun. It is pretty fun. The demo's definitely fun. Aw, Delphina. How lewd. Thank you for the kisses. Let me see. I do not need to get Liddy again this weekend. I drunk texted Alk the other day. Okay, I don't know if they're in the chat right now. If you're in the chat, you know who you are. Oh, they are. They are. Can I shout you out like about drunk texting? Can I give you the little shout out?
Okay.
Just don't say anything. If the answer's no, don't say anything. Otherwise, everyone will know who you are. But if you're fine with me spilling the spilling the tea, then please do tell. Also, Chris, thanks for the ride. I appreciate it. It was a great ride. I do like it on the other side of the screen better, so I appreciate it. Nothing wrong with forehead kisses. Aw, my forehead is kind of it's kind of oily. I'm just kidding. Or am I? You said, oh boy, sure. Oh, Rosera was so sweet and texted me while drunk and just said, hee hee, I think I'm drunk. And it was so sweet and adorable. Rosera, you're such a good bean. Can we get some hearties in the chat for Rosera? Rosera is so very sweet. And Rosera apologized too later and was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, you're wonderful. We all love you, Rosera. We love you, Rosera. You're never, ever a bother. And I love to have you in my DMs. I love to talk with you. We love playing games with you. We love talking with you on stream. Rosera, you're great. And don't apologize for being adorable. Don't apologize. Oh no! R.I.P. best friend. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I'm not gonna listen to any music. Sorry. I don't take a request for music. I'm sorry to hear that. If that did happen, that is sad. You said, oh goodness, I'm embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed, Rosera. We love you. We love you. Alchemic is actually like a pillar of the community. Actually, Alchemic is my mod and will ban anybody, so you best look out. You best look out, all right? My mods do what they want because my mods have the sword. I have the sword, babe. Exactly. You need to treat my mods right. Otherwise, you're not welcome in my chat. Sorry. If you're not getting along with my mods, you're not gonna get along with me. So, I don't know. We can deal with it however we need to. Let me see. You have Animal Crossing New Horizons, but you haven't played it for a little while now. Oh. Animal Crossing New Horizons is fun. I am kind of tempted to play more of it. I feel like it has been tricky recently for me to play games that don't have a goal. I've been very goal driven recently. I've really wanted to play games that have ends, or games that have something in the background that's like keeping you moving forward. I don't know. I haven't been extremely motivated recently, so I need the games to motivate me. I need my I need the games to push me. Otherwise, I'm not gonna complete them. I want to watch this one again. I'm just gonna play this in the background because Kirby looks adorable. But maybe we should play the demo really quick. It is relatively short, but it is so pretty and it is very fun. The goal is to defeat Tom Nook in combat. The goal is to amass an army of villagers. You go to is that what all those islands are for? You build them houses and that earns you their loyalty. And then eventually at the very end, you use all of the houses. All the houses come together. and they form one giant castle, and you make battle against Tom Nook. Against Tom Nook? What did Tom Nook ever do to you? How dare you? How dare you? Tom Nook is he's a hardworking man. Oh wait, no, that's red. The demo could be good. To make you decide on pre-ordering. I don't like pre-ordering games. Pre-ordering games is a ripoff. The only reason to do that is to assure that there's a copy in the store for you, or to preload the game. I mean, I guess some people have slow internet. Is that what the case is? Like, I don't know why you would pre-order a digital product. Just because you want to preload it? Like, how slow is y'all's internet? I don't understand. I don't understand. I thought my internet was bad. I'm pretty sure that it is. My internet may cut out at any time. But, yeah, I don't think pre-order is great. Pre-ordering is generally not a good idea. I've been burnt too many times. I was burnt as a kid, like, pre-ordering some games that I was really excited about. And I was bamboozled back then. And, yeah, I've stopped pre-ordering after that. One time a game download took 10 days? What? 10 days? No. No. 10 days? What game? What game? Oh, you're in Beijing. Well, that's different. No, that's a little bit different. That's purposefully throttled. Okay, I was gonna say you need a new provider. It's time to move. I mean, if you lived in Beijing and that was your internet, then yeah, time to move. How do people in China download games? Were you in like a, well, you must have been in like a hotel or something. Okay, oh yeah, it was public Wi-Fi. Okay. That makes sense. 10 days on what? Dial-up? Oh, not the dial-up. Oh no. I wish I didn't remember dial-up. That's horrible. You had a VIP? A VPN, not VIP. Yeah, you have to have a VPN over there, right? Because a lot of the internet is censored or whatever. That makes sense. Also, in the zone, how are you doing? Oi. You missed the dial-up sound? Is that a sound that we need on the stream? Is that a sound that we need? Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. We want some dial-up sound effects. I see. All right. New bit redemption. You could diagnose your connection issues purely from the sound it made connecting. Yeah, that is cool. And also, who needs landlines now? Like, I guess dial-up actually makes more sense now than it did then. It's just too slow. It makes sense because we don't use landlines anymore. Who cares? Landlines are worthless. I remember my grandma being like, "Get off the internet. I need to call your grandfather." All right, you're done playing on the internet now. I have to call grandfather. Oh, you have a landline for your gate? For like your front gate or something? Land gate? You were an expat, so the legality of the VPN was irrelevant. Oh snap! Very censored internet. It's really cool that you visited Beijing though, and by visited I don't exactly know what I mean, but that is really cool. Definitely China would be a cool place to. It would be a cool place to visit one day. I am a little bit scared. I don't know. It partly is the internet. It is funny that something as simple as the internet makes me feel a lot safer places. Like, I don't know. If I have my phone on me, then I can look up a map no matter where I am, so I can always figure out where I'm supposed to go. And I can always text somebody if I need to. I don't know. It makes me feel a lot safer. I think that we should play this demo. I've just been watching these videos. We've just been watching the videos, but actually, let's take a look at this game. I'm gonna just pause the Kirby music, and I'm gonna hook up my Switchy. I don't think that I need to, let's see.
How do I hook this up? What plug goes where? How do I do it? There's a plug goes over here, plug it in. There we go. You said it's on the Nintendo Switch? Wait, I'm confused. Oh, I think it goes like, there we go. Ta-da!
That ought to work. That better work. Oh, look, it's me. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the void. Welcome to the void. Game capture? Oh, perfect. And then game capture? Where? Oh, yeah, the switch is not on. What's connected by landline? You said the community is gated. So when like a delivery comes, you have to let them in and stuff. Oh, Kuri! Oi, 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 Kuri! How are you doing? Look at the blankies. It's inspired by you. I'll admit it. The blankies are inspired by Kuri and Tin's blankies emotes. They're so cute. I couldn't help it. They're adorable. I wanted one. I said I need one. Oh yeah, I was looking at the store. Rune Factory looks fun. I've played a tiny bit of Rune Factory before, and I kind of love it. I had it on. Oi!
Revenant tipped $1. Good evening, Subboy.
Revenant, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Hey, wait a second. Revenant's here. Oi. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. What's up, A-Star? Hope you're doing well. You love Rune Factory 4? I played the one on the 3DS, and it was lots of fun. It's basically farming meets, like, monster dungeon grinding. We are going to play the Kirby demo. But, yeah, it's got, like, you can also date people, so it's got, like, kind of a Stardew vibe, too. I guess you can date people in... What's it called? In... Harvest Moon. So I guess it is mostly Harvest Moon.
I can't remember.
You can switch to games or demos if you think that's a good. I think that's a good idea, Alchemic. Thank you, Miss Obi. Thank you for the biddies. Thanks for the 5 bits. We're watching anime. Wow. Kuri, how are you doing? By the way, I watched a movie with Kuri. We were watching a movie. We watched Mrs. Doubtfire. Had you ever seen Mrs. Doubtfire before? Also, in the zone, thank you for the lurk. I saw that you said that you're going to go work on some essays or something, right? You're going to go what? Oh, you've got an essay coming in. Nice. We'll see you in a minute in the zone. We'll see you whenever you get back. Enjoy your alert. Sorry, I'm lurking because my sister decided that she wanted to call me before I go to work. No worries. Awkward. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. You guys, y'all better stop apologizing or I'm going to start getting upset. No apologizing. No apologizing. You live your life. Live your life, darlings. Also, my hair's kind of gone poof up. Kind of poofing up a little bit. This is a game that I didn't know existed, and then and then Oops talked about it so much that I was like, all right, now we have to watch a video. We watched like a 10-minute breakdown of what Chocobo racing is. I'm still so confused. What is this? Why it doesn't exist? Why is it Mario Kart with no Mario in it? It's Mario Kart. It's Mario-less Mario Kart. It was a run by fruiting. Yes. Wait a second. That was from the movie. It was a run by fruiting. That was it. Thank you. Okay, now I remember. Eerie Coffee, what's up? Oi, 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 oi. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing, Eerie Coffee? Oi, oi. Oi, oi. We're playing this this new Kirby demo. Have you played this? Have you played this, Eerie Coffee? You gotta be honest with me. You gotta be honest. Otherwise, I'm gonna get mad. Just kidding. You haven't played it? Ooh. Are you interested? Have you played any Kirby games? Do you like the Kirby character? I've never played a Kirby game before. The most that I've played any Kirby game was on my friend's Game Boy Advance. My friend had a game. Oh, you can copy abilities. Oh, this is like the end. This is like the please buy our game movie. This is the please purchase the game now that you have played it movie. No, I want to freaking restart, you guys. We're doing wild mode. Wild. Hashtag RAR. I date myself. If I tell you my last Kirby game that you played, you'll date yourself. Oh wait, you mean like you'll make yourself feel old? What? That's okay. It's okay to be old. Nothing wrong with playing old Kirby games. I played the Game Boy Advance. That's the last Kirby game that I played, and it wasn't even mine. It was a friend's. Look at him. Uh-oh. Dating yourself is the best. You get to go home to the right person. Exactly. You can't cheat on yourself if you're dating yourself. If you have a relationship with yourself, you'll never let yourself go. What is that expression? Kirby. Kirby with the eyes. Like Waddle Dee. They're so cute. I'm so glad that the Waddle Dees are friendly. I love them. I love them. They have a little Waddle Dee village. These eyes. Who designed the Kirby eyes? Why'd they make them so gigantic plates? I love it. I wanna take a screenshot if I can. Whoa. Kirby's phasing in and out of reality. I'm ready to break up with myself. No! Don't break up with yourself. You made a commitment, Drex. You're supposed to be committed. Once you commit to yourself, you can't go back on that. That's a sacred vow. It's a sacred vow, and I will ostracize you. You will be ostracized if you do that. You've never played Kirby games? How dare. No, I'm ostracized. Oh no. Hey, Kirby demo, baby. I'm so excited. What's up, Homestar Gamer? It's been a minute since I've seen you, my friend. How have you been doing? I thought it'd be fun to show y'all this little demo off. I played it one time and I had some fun with it. It's really, really cute. Okay, it needs to be a little bit louder, right? Okay, I think that's better. This game is so pretty. It's so pretty and adorable. I also haven't played it on a big screen, so I kind of wanted to see big Curbs. Big Curb moment. Oh, he gets a little, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute with his little feet. He said, oh, he's in his little raft. Kirby has got to be like the cutest one, right? The cutest Nintendo character. He's so adorable. He has a little floaty. He does. He puts his little floaty. He's so cute. He's a baby. I love it because Kirby is like, he's a baby and an animal at the same time. Like, he kind of feels like a human baby or like a child. But he's also a creature. Like, he's obviously like less sentient than a human. I don't know. He's like, he's dumb in the cutest way. I feel like he would float without that. No, he loves the floaty. He doesn't want to be without it. He doesn't want to be without the floaty. It's important. It's a fashion statement. Kirby is both the cutest, but also destroys literal gods. I mean, he has a black hole in his stomach, right? We were talking about this last night. Yeah, doesn't he have like, pretty sure that he has a literal like black hole inside of him. Pretty sure. Look at all the blankies. Oof. I just wanted to zoom in on that face. So aggressive. Kirby, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself now. It's like another dimension. It is. He has like another dimension inside of his stomach. Anything that he swallows gets sent to another realm. Another realm and another time. Oof. Wah! Kirby is a killer of gods. Is that like his main, that's his main job? His main job is to take down gods that have lived out their purpose. Anytime that a god needs cleanup, then Kirby's there to swallow them. Kirby's like, I've been sent by the council. You are going to be removed from your godhood. No brain, only stomach. Yum, yum. Sometimes I feel like I'm no brain, only stomach. Zoom. Ooh, I love the shooting. The shooting mechanic of it going like zoom, zoom, zoom. You kill the babies? You have to. Everything's a dubious creature in this game. Have you not seen a Kirby game? All the creatures are adorable and equally dubious as well. Calico, how was your day? Oi, oi, oi. Dubious. Absolutely dubious. Kirby, my son. You've never seen a Kirby game? This is a whack Kirby game to see first, I think. Because this is like very different, I'm pretty sure. This is like very open world. Maybe they are like normally open world. Whenever I think Kirby, I always think 2D platformer. But I guess that's just like that's like old Kirby. I think of like the ones with all the doors where you're just like, you'd have to figure out like which door you're supposed to go in or something. That's the only Kirby game that I've played. Is one that had like a bajillion doors. Oh, what? I didn't know that you could be this in this level. What? I never used this. This is new content. Why do I have hair? Gross. Kirby, you need a haircut, sir. You look kind of gross. Game's lagging. Great. Love it. Crystal Shard is your favorite? Ooh, Crystal Shard is that the most recent one? I'm trying to remember. I've read that name, but I'm not all up to date on my Kirby lore. As I said, I've never really even played a Kirby game. It's my first one. Oh, it was the 64? Ooh. That's what was it you that was talking in the chat about that? Because I remember last night people were talking about the 64 Kirby game, saying that it was the best one. I heard such things from real game fans. Kirby 64 was the last good Kirby game, but that's just a theory. A game theory. Oh, look at the little bomb boy. What the heck is this dubious creature? Excuse me. Oh, I just got nailed in the face. I don't know who these little goblins are. Who is this little goblin baby? Is he a human being? Oh, he will give you bombs if you eat him. Oh yeah, I think I can get rid of this. I want to be a bomb. Ooh. Ooh, he's got a little bomb beanie. Ooh, with nuclear energy that's being released out of the top. Because it's new Bomberman game confirmed. Hey, new Bomberman's looking great. Whoa! Did you see that? If you stay still, you can make like a connection between the bombs. Oh, that didn't work. I thought that they were supposed to like connect. Why aren't they going off? That took forever. I saw the bombs. Okay, yeah, there's a chain. Oh shoot, Kirby dead. Kirby dead. F's in the chat. Dang it, what is the use of that? Yeah, they were too far away from each other. I don't get how you're supposed to use that ability. Oh, that is cool. You can fling them. Okay, yeah, maybe you fling them like this. But they take forever. What's the point? I don't know how to use that. Seems like just chucking the bombs is the better idea. Hey, let me on top of the silo. You think Kirby 64 is the only one that you haven't played? Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. You skipped the best one. Oh, you can kick it like a soccer ball. Hey, let's play a game. Hey guys, you want to play some soccer? I love soccer. No! I was just trying to kick the ball to you. I'm sorry. I was trying to play a game. I didn't mean to explode you like that. Kirby 64 is awesome. Confirmed? That's called the Crystal Shards, eh? 64 Kirby game. Is that on Nintendo Online? I'm guessing it's not, because nothing's on Nintendo Online. Or not every game ever. It will be? Okay, well I will play it. Why is it everything is either not on it or will be on it? Nothing's on it. What'd you say, Linz? You gonna sneak out and take a shower? Oh, good. Unstinky. No longer stinky gamer. Finally. Not because I didn't want it. It's the only system you never had. Ooh. My family didn't like video games, so we didn't get to have consoles when I was a kid. We weren't allowed to have video games, so I had to play everything on the PC. But eventually, I left my parents' house and I could buy whatever I wanted. So I did buy, I do have a 64 with a few games for it. I also have Alchemic's collection. So lots of games. If they put Castlevania 64 on the Switch, I will upgrade my sub. Okay, so that's it. That's the breaking point. The breaking point. If they will just include that one game, it'll be worth it. Is it that game is so good, or is it that it will finally be enough? Like, will it make it over the value hump, or is that game that good? It's carrying it. This entire subscription is carried by one game. Also, I'm a car. I love that the headlights look like hands. Look out, Kirby car is trying to give you a big hug. Better look out, honk honk. Honk honk. Put your arms out, get a hug from the Kirby mobile. He only weighs 2 tons. It's 2 tons of pure love. Honk honk. Honk honk! I said that the little feet are kicking. What? Are they giving him some air? Oh, they look like they're just kind of sitting there. They don't even look attached. I love it. Just kind of flopping back there. Yeah, he's just like kicking his feet like he's sitting in the water or something. Like he's sitting on the edge of a pool. He's adorable. Wham! I just crushed that poor musha. I just crushed the mush. Did I just crush that mush? I do think that this is speedrun strat. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of drift. Yeah. Kaboom. Treasure. I can't believe we found hidden treasure up here. You can really drift that bad boy. Yeah, drift him right off the edge. Kirby dead. Kirby's dead again. No, Kirby. Yeah, look at that drift. I'm curious, is there any more goodies that I missed? Ooh, Kirby.
Okay.
Be careful. Ah! Dang it, why is it broken? That home run thing is so busted looking. It like rotates the camera at the wrong angle. And then the video comes back weird. It's kind of perfect. Oh, they're shocked and scared. They remind me of an enemy from Earthbound. A suspicious mushroom shows up and steals your hamburger. What do you do? Oh, he can look around. That's so cute. He looks up. He stretched his body a little bit so that he can look up. He's so cute. Get the Kirby one ready. Spicy donuts. Mmm. Kirby donut. Yum, yum, yum. Kirby donut. Did I miss you finishing Earthbound? Don't worry, you didn't miss a thing. You didn't miss a thing. We ain't beating it yet. We ain't beating it yet. Earthbound is kind of feels like a long game. When does this game come out? It comes out on the 25th. So it'll be out in 5 days. 5 days. We're still a little bomb boy. I'm gonna remove that. I don't like that ability too much. It's kind of cool. I do like the explosion sound for the bomb. It sounds like the drum alert sound. Kirby Redeem, where he sucks up your cam and pops you out. Oh yeah, I think I have that written here. Yeah, I do still have that written. Yeah, and a Pokeball catch. Or Tingle drops the camera. Yeah, there's more redeems that I could add. I like adding stuff to the stream whenever I feel kind of like inspired. Whenever I get inspired and I'm like, I gotta make something. I guess part of what I did, I drew yesterday and that got out some of my creative juices. Have you played Horizon Zero Dawn or the new sequel? I played a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. It wasn't really for me. It seems like a very good game, but it's just not for me. I've grown tired of like collectathon sort of games. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of examples. I guess, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. I don't know. They're just not really my style of games. But I have a lot of friends that love Horizon Zero Dawn, though. So I know it good. I know it good. Salty's been playing a fair bit of it. But yeah, it's just not my style of game. I just murked these guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't have an ability. That's all right. I'll just throw them at each other. They're so cute. They're so cute. I don't want to kill them. I'm gonna just pretend like they get knocked out, and then we can domesticate them after. Also, this little baby is so cute. Callie. Callie. Look at this dubious creature with a little bite out of his ear. He looks like a piece of cheese because he's got a bite. Wait a second. Is that an actual bite? Is that an injury? Did he sustain an injury? Or is that how they're born? I don't know. The story is good though. Yeah, I don't generally play games for their story. Like, I still haven't played The Last of Us, and I know that's a good game. I haven't played The Last of Us. I haven't played Life is Strange. I'm trying to think of what are the best story games ever made. I've never played Uncharted because I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if I haven't played Uncharted, why would I play Horizon Zero Dawn? Kind of like, I don't know. There's a pattern. There's a pattern. If the game has a story, I don't like it. Generally. Woo, you saved me. Thank you. But what about those other guys, the Waddle Dees? They were all captured and taken away. Oh no. We fought those beasts as hard as we could, but they kept coming back for more. You fought as hard as you could? What does fighting look like for you, little one? Oh, little one. The little baby that's called Elfinland. Elfinland? Is that how you say it? Elfinland? They're so cute. I love their tail. I didn't even notice that they had a tail. Aww. I love their little weird tail. Beowulf is singing again and listening to Sweater Weather. I'm trying to remember. How does that go? It's like, it's too cold, oh, for you here. That's a good song. I like that. Very romantic jam.
Hi. Hi.
Oi, 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 Charlies, what's up? How are you doing? We're trying out the Kirby demo. Look at this baby. You can take this baby home for the low, low price of $5.99. $5.99 to save little Elfinland. How do you say it? Elfinland? Save this little elf mouse baby thing. This dubious creature. Please save them. They look a lot like Squeaks from Squeak Squad. Aw, Squeak Squad. I've never heard of that. Also, Fifi Abby, how are you doing? A-Star, enjoy your evening. Nighty-night, nighty-night. Nighty-night, nighty-night. Get some rest, get some rest. $5.99? I don't know. Seems expensive. But see, it's a purebred. It's purebred. It's a purebred creature. Listen, we have to charge such high prices to make sure that breeders don't breed them too much, okay? They've all got papers. They've all got papers because they're actually, I'm trying to remember the word, but they're not indigenous. They're one of those species that will like take over the entire environment if we breed too many of them. $5.99. Are you out of your mind? What? Do you know how much people pay for dogs? What's the most expensive dog? Do you know how much it costs to get like a Shiba Inu puppy? It's like $1,000. It's ridiculous. Oh wait, did I just do all of it? No. We just did point of arrival. We ain't gone to the downtown grassland. Did we? No, surely we didn't. Invasive? Yeah. They're an invasive species. We have to be careful. You paid $1,500 for your Yorkie? Yeah, see, like dogs are expensive. Dogs are expensive. Why would we not suspect that a little cheese rat would be a little flying bat rat? Boston Terriers sell for $1,200. Holy moly.
Is that because they're from Boston?
Do people like Boston that much? Why on earth? What's so special about those dogs? They all look the same to me. Listen, I'm not saying I'm a dog hater. I'm not saying I'm a dog lover. But can you really tell the difference between these dogs? They all look the same to me. A dog's a dog. If it's got 4 legs, I can't even tell what animal it is. Zoot. Man, this is so much fun. So the coins, I'm looking up at the coins in the corner. We've got like 700 of them. I'm guessing that this is like a constant wallet. It's like a world wallet. I wonder if you lose the wallet whenever you die. The baby is sleeping. The baby is sleeping by the tree. Oh my God. It's so cute. He has a booger. He's booged up. He's booged up on a Saturday evening. I can't believe it. Oh, holy moly. Oh, you're quoting a commercial? $5.99. Are you out of your mind? You can get this air fryer for only $10. Kill it. No! It's Sunday. Did I say something else? Did I not say? I thought I said Sunday. Dang it. Did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Viperius. Hold on. Bay is asking Kenny, how long have you known Opes? I've known Opes for a little more than a year. I said Saturday. Oh no. That's not what I meant. I would never say that. I've known Opes for like for essentially like a year, I think, or something like that. We killed him. But yeah, we didn't really talk until about a year ago. We didn't I don't know, we didn't talk too much for quite a while. But we mostly connected in December. Oi, 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 Ashley, thank you for the 10 biddies. What the heck? Oi, oi, oi. We're killing animals out here. Nice. We're zooming. We're checking out this adorable Kirby game. How are you doing, Ashley? Oi, oi, oi. Have you seen this Kirby demo? I just thought we'd destroy the grass. We'll destroy the grasslands. This power is nice. Yeah, I really like this power. I'm trying to wait a second. Ooh, I love that. Zoom. Yeah, you can hold, so you can throw this, hold it out, and then pull it back to yourself for a mega attack. That is awesome. I cannot wait for this game. I want to play it right now. I mean, I am playing it right now. I want to play the full game right now. I want to play this so bad. It's going to be so cute. And you can go to Waddle Dee Town. You can waddle your big pink butt over to Waddle Dee Town, and you can like improve it and play mini games and stuff. I want to play this game so bad. Give me the game. Gimme, Nintendo. I want to play this. What's your favorite color? The alphabet? True or false? Okay, first of all, false. Second of all, purple A. There you go.
Okay.
Ah! Hey, Ashley, what did I do? Ashley, you give me 10 bits and then you hit me with a bat? Is this our relationship right now? Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm getting the bait and switch. Which one's the bait? Which one's the switch? The bait and Nintendo Switch. There, wait. Here we go. Zoot. There we go. Equivalent exchange. To get something of equal value must be given. That is the law of equivalent exchange. Trying to remember the rest of that opening. It's like, there's a taboo among alchemists. Human transmutation is forbidden. For what could equal the value of a human soul? Kono omoi o keste shuani wa barami mandi bari baro. I knew when you guys played that Mario game together, something was gonna happen. What? What? You knew? That was a long time ago. I was dating at the time. I was dating somebody. What? But I was not even single. Oh no! Was I giving off like ready to move on vibes? Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. More like that? It looks like a Skittles machine. I love it. He can swallow a whole machine. Whoa. You can really blast. Oh, heck. Oh, yeah, you can pick him up again. That's so satisfying. Can you pick him up after you shoot him? Like, can you get him on the rebound? Kinda. That is so satisfying, the way that this works. And they look so... It makes soda actually look tasty. Oh, yum. Oh, yumma yum. I don't even like sody pop. Your mom equals human soul. You know who's got a human soul? Your mother. Your mother's got a human soul. Sorry. I don't know. You guys just had chemistry. I agree. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember early Oapsty days. So like Opes found me while I was bald. I was bald and I had no eyebrows. I was fully egged out. And I was like, this seems like a really nice guy. And I remember like at the time I was like learning that I could flirt with my friends online. Like I was going through it. I was like trying to figure it out. Cause I don't know, I never joked around with my friends like that, but since I started hanging out with OT and Click, and they would like jokingly flirt with one another, I was like, this is fun. It's like, oh, you can eat them? What? He's so huge. Also, Ad Hoc, thank you so much for the raid, yo. Thank you so much for the shout out for Ad Hoc. What the heck? Hey, thank you so much for the raid, you guys. Please check out my friendo Ad Hoc. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Welcome in, Ad Hoc Games. NF, how are you doing? Mabian, I hope you enjoyed the Final Fantasy. That's Final Fantasy, that's 4. Final Fantasy 4, so let me see. 7 is the one that they just remade. 14 is the MMO. So that Final Fantasy 4 is that's like one of the classic ones, right? The third one, well, I guess these are talking about the US numbers, right? I think the third one was on NES, right? Wasn't it? Isn't the third one on the NES? So it released as 2 in the US. Okay. Oh, all right. So it released as 2 on the SNES. Okay, so it's a SNES one. Thank you, C's the DM. It released as 2. I wonder which one I have. 1 second. Is this weird for me to walk away? I want to check which one I have, because I'm pretty sure that I have one of them. Ad Hoc, thank you so much for the raid. We're checking out this demo. I'm super looking forward to this game. It looks adorable. Thank you so much for the follow, C's the DM. I appreciate it. You are welcome to chill with us if you want. We're talking some mad nonsense. I'm gonna go check which one I have really quick. Right back.
Which one is it? Okay, it's 3. It is 3. This is the Final Fantasy game that I have, the older one. I do have I do have another one. I do have 7 for the PS1, I think. I have 7 for the PS1. It's like on the double discs. The double discs. Pull-ups? Callie, are you kidding me? I have to do pull-ups right now? We're playing Kirby. I'm playing Kirby right now, Mom. Mom, I'm playing Kirby. You can't pause it. You can't pause this game. Oh, yeah, he has... I forgot that he can do... Oh, no. Oh, no, it's too cute. Oh, no. You guys, we're going to need to cancel Kirby. Cancel Kirby, everyone. He's too cute. How do you keep this going? Do you just hit it once? It looks like... Aw.
Hi. Wee. Hi.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh my God.
Why? Hi.
I hurt, so you should have to do pull-ups. Wait, what? Calico, why are you hurting? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you hurting? Somebody please help Callie not hurt so that I don't have to do any more pull-ups. Just kidding. All right, y'all hang out with him. I'm gonna do my pull-ups. Thanks for the workout. So Final Fantasy V, Japan was never released in the US. So Final Fantasy VI, Japan equals Final Fantasy III in the US. Yeah, there's missing games, right, that have never been released. This is all too typical with Japanese games. Like, we just miss out on things. I'm so glad. Alchemic sent me info about the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood mobile game, and thankfully, from what I read, it looks like it's actually coming out in the US, but we miss out on so much stuff over here. It does make me want to, whenever I go to Japan, I do want to get some like Japanese consoles. I want to pick up some Japanese consoles. I know that you can also buy them online. That's probably smarter. But whenever I go there, I definitely want to like buy luggage and maybe check a bag backward. Cause I want the freaking Japanese loot. I want the consoles so that I can play like it finish some of the game series that I've tried to play. Okay, I'm gonna work out really quick. I've got a pull-up bar over here in my closet. I don't have a camera pointed at it right now. I'm hoping to buy a new camera at some point. Yeah, maybe whenever Twitch gives me money, then I'll buy a new camera so that you can see me in pain. But just imagine it. Just imagine my pain. Thanks for the workout. Boy. Thanks for the workout. Appreciate it. Who did that? This is Calico. Thanks, Calico. How do we know you're doing it? You don't. It's a scam. Obviously. Obviously, I'm trying to scam y'all out of points so that you can't get VIP. Duh. Also, Ad Hoc. You're gonna head out. Thanks so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed your games, Ad Hoc. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Get yourself some food and water. Take good care of yourself. It was nice to see you, my friend. Meow, 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 meow. And I learned more about Final Fantasy. More. That doesn't work when it's only VIPs redeeming workouts. Exactly. It's because the VIP's actually like a really, really cool redeem. Okay. And it's not gonna last forever either because we only got a few slots left. It's true. There we go. You can just do a set of jumping jacks as well till you get that new camera. Oh my gosh. Rosera is like, no, like, seriously, we want to see the suffering. I need to see your eyes. I need to see the desperation on your face. You can do a lighter workout just so long as we can watch you suffer. Just make sure that we can see it. Oh my gosh, Kirby Cone. He still got the hat. What? I thought that I think I got rid while I played this demo one other time. I didn't know that you can keep the little hat. Boom. Nice. Yeah. I never save up a lot of points in streams. I get to oh wait. You never save up a lot of points. You get to a redemption that you like and you use them. So you never, are you saying, Drex, that you don't spend them? And you just like save them up until you see something that you like? Kaboom! Get out of here. Let me see. That's a great idea. How's it working for you? Silence. Let me see. There was like a question or something that I saw. There's a question. I'm confused. Oh, I was still talking about like, I never finished my thought about like meeting Opes. I'm trying to think about that. Where did I get with that subject? I was saying that like, oh, there we go. Nice. Also, Charlie's. Yo, sub to tier 2. What the heck? Yo, could we get some blankies in the chat? Charlie's. Thank you so much. What the heck? Subbing with tier 2. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. You shouldn't have. I appreciate it. Charlie's, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. 20 months. 20 months. Holy moly. Thank you, Charlie's. Yeah. There we go. We found another tulip. Another tulip. Wait a second. I think that Squirrely should be over here, right? Should be in this corner because I'm seeing like information on the other side. Clear the stage. Save the hidden Waddle Dees. Make 5 tulips bloom. Break the building shutter. Ride the spewing water up to the balcony. Okay, so there's some extras. Oh yeah, is Opes the guy in your Instagram pic? Yeah. Yeah, Opes is my boyfriend. Yeah, in my most recent Instagram post. I still cannot believe that is my most liked picture. I can't believe it. I thought my account was dead. I thought that my account was dead. And then it's my most liked picture ever. More liked than whenever I was like on Katie's channel all the time. I used to be on my sister's like gigantic YouTube channel. Almost every video I would have like some sort of a little mention or something. But yet somehow people are like more engaged now. I don't understand. It's so awesome. Kaboom! This is so upsetting. They give me those capsules, but I can't open them. I can't open them in the demo. It makes me upset. Upsetty spaghetti. Boing, boing, boing. He's cute. You guys look adorable together. Oh, stop. Stop. That statement is half correct. I like it. It's true. He is a cutie. What is that? It's just a coin. Oh, we get to pick a power up. Now I'm scared. That's how I found you, from Katie's videos. Yeah. I think that's from a lot of people. I think a lot of people are from the videos. Oh, boss mode. I'm getting that coin one way or another. You silly old rabbits and bunnies. Y'all can't stop me now. Oh, wait. I can just go zoom, 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 zoom. Wild Edge? I don't remember fighting this guy. Watch sword. Watch the sword. If I... Oh, yeah, he's got like a shield. Boom. Yeah, so he's gonna like shield up. Kaboom. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and the little stars that are floating there, I think that you can, No! Okay, can I like... Wait. I'm gonna throw this, and I'm gonna sucker him into combat with me. Boom! Destroyed. Destroyed. Dance on his corpse. Oh wait, no, we gotta finish him. Finish him off. Yeah! He gave me a sword too. Petition for the next stream to be Kirby themed. Oh, the next Doodle stream. Aw, that would be so cute. I want to draw more Kirby. I haven't drawn too much Kirby. I did draw a picture of Waddle Dee getting super sucked into Kirby's mouth. Here, I will show you it. I think I have it saved. It's just a doodle. It's just a funny. This is the only time that I've ever drawn Kirby. I didn't even get Waddle Dee's colors right. It's not even accurate. It's not even biblically accurate Kirby. It's the wrong colors all around. No! Kirby! Okay, there. Now you've seen it. I do like the pose in that one. It's a good concept. It's a good concept. We can workshop it. We can workshop it. We'll make it into a masterpiece later. All right, let's go on a Kirby ride. Everybody hop on the star. Hang on. Hang on, y'all. We're headed up. Headed up. Ooh, chicken leg. What is it? Wait a sec. What does that do? What? Why did I eat? Why do you eat in this game? I thought Kirby didn't need to consume. Kirby's not a consumer. Okay, maybe I should try out. I want to. Stop. I want to eat you. Okay, I'm gonna shoot it at this guy. It's so gigantic. No, that's not what I meant to do. I wanna get a different ability. Let's find ourselves a new ability. You could put that on a shirt. Well, I mean, technically, you could put anything on a shirt. What is this? I didn't find this. I did not find this whenever I played it. There's a lot of this demo that I haven't done before. I found an extra Waddle Dee. They're so cute. I think I saved all the hidden Waddle Dees. Did I get them all? I think I got them all. I think I was just missing one of them and I didn't know. Waddle Dee's so cute. What the heck is this? Oh, you stand there. You stand there and it unlocks. It makes things pop up. Ooh. This game looks so cute. This is gonna be a banger. This one's gonna be a real banger. I can feel it. I wanna use a sword. Is this guy a sword? Wait, come here. No, that's a boomerang. Okay. We already used something like a boomerang. This is the same power-up. It's a Kirby's custom boomerang. This is not what I'm looking for. I want a sword. I want to be able to chop things. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Oh, there we go. There's a sword. I want to try that. Ew. But Kirby's ugly when he looks like this. Okay, there we go. Cutter is great though. Yeah, I think Cutter is better. Cutter is butter. Cutter is butter. But this one is but this one's kind of cool too. I just wanted to use it just a little bit. There we go. Aw, little doggo sleeping by the tree. Do I really have to hurt him though? Camera feels kind of free. I just realized that. Like, what if I'm out here? Okay, now, yeah, if you stand still, you can kind of control the camera. You like that they changed. You like that they changed the sword though. What? That it's massive. You like the massive cleaver rather than like the little Link sword. I thought that there was still a Link. There's still a Link sword in this game, right? It's a snapping turtle. I kind of love snapping turtles. My mom saved so many snapping turtles off the side of the road. Ouch! I just ran into him. Sorry, doggy. But my mom loves turtles. She like, if we ever found a turtle out in the, if we ever saw a turtle on the road, my mom would stop the car with all the kids in it, would get out of the car and save the turtle's life. Oh, wait. Oh, we can keep this ability while we do mouthful mode, I think. Which is crazy. How do we fit more in our mouth? Bonk. Aw. We killed him. He's so cute. Bonk. This mouthful mode is broken. And this cone, there's no like limit to how long you can use it. Oh, you can make it past 1,000 coins. Nice. That's all that I care about. I just want to have 1 billion coins. Before it looked like a scimitar. You like the broadsword look better for sure. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Mom used to like turtles. Rosera, what happened? Did your mom discover turtle soup? Oh no. But yeah, my mom will save turtles. There was a Costco that was being built in our hometown. And while they were completing the construction, there was like a snapping turtle that got like kicked out of his home, and he was like walking around in the empty parking lot trying to figure out where his home was. And he was like, "Where's my house? Where's my family?" And my mom picked up this gigantic snapping turtle and like carried him off to the water. I was scared. I was scared. I thought Mom was gonna get bit. But she didn't get bit. I guess she kept it calm, or I don't know, knew how to hold it. But even a snapping turtle, she takes good care of them. Would you say Mom used to like turtles? I'm confused. Kenny, have you heard of the Biomutants? The Biomutants, the game? Biomutants? Is that like based on a TV show of the same name? I don't know if I've heard of this Biomutants. No. Biomutants, the game? Bonk. Big Lizard. We crushed that poor Lizard. He deserved better. Oh, treasure. Hang on. Before we get the treasure, is there any bonus? Because I saw a, like, orange coin on the front of the building. Where is the front of the building? I'm confused. Kato, you got it. Isn't that so cute? Isn't that so cute? Look at that blankie. Oh, my gosh. Kato, do you love it? Do you love it? Kato, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Very happy Sunday. Very happy Sunday. I remember it's not Saturday. Who's mod here? You can look for the green swords. The green swords of the chat are the mods. You can also click on the absolutely abysmal new users in chat feature. It looks horrible. Yuck! I now see what you meant, Alchemic, because it doesn't change it for my little client thing that I'm using, but I saw it on the website. It's gross. Yeah, I finally saw it in somebody else's chat. It's so gross. Oh, it is. Oh, it's opening them. Okay, so maybe you get to keep those. Yeah, it's really gross. But yeah, anybody with a green sword, as a reward for going all out in the demo version, you have been awarded an extra special present code. Don't use this, you guys. This is my code. This is my code. Nobody use it. Why is it all double spaced? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Also, Linz, welcome back. Hey. Welcome back. You're sick, Kato? Oh, no. What? Kato is sick. I could never get sick of you. Kato, what's the... You're feeling sick? Like, do you have a headache or stomach ache or something? Do you know what's wrong? I hope that it goes away. Sick, please go away. Evolve or revert abilities. Okay, those are the codes. Your copy abilities are currently evolved. Would you like to change them back to their normal forms? Oh, that's the sword. So the sword is an evolved form? Dude, so you can change them back and like stick with it? You just beat Cuphead? Yo, Pogaroo, dude. Holy moly. Pog, you guys. Please send my congratulations to Homestar Gamer. I've never beaten Cuphead. That is very impressive. I've never beaten it. I've tried a few times, but I've never made a concerted effort to actually beat it solo. I always played it with a friend. I need to beat that game. I'm trying to remember what I got stuck on. I don't even know if I got stuck. I'm pretty sure that I got stuck on a boss. Yuck. Your cousin gave you a head and chest cold, really scratchy throat and lots of coughs? No. Kato, I hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry that you're feeling crummy. You deserve to feel the best. Hanging out with your cousin and you get punished. Shaking my head. Poppy got to the last boss and then rage quitted. Are you sure it was the last boss? Are you sure? Poppy actually made it to the last boss? What? Is Poppy a gamer? Yo, holy moly, Poppy's a gamer? I didn't know that. You're pretty sure? Well, the areas are set up kind of weird. Excuse me. The areas are set up kind of weird. That's why I was asking. Because I find it slightly confusing too. Like, the setup of the game makes it feel like it's the last boss. Like, it should have taken him, like, if he got to the last boss, He must have played like 20, 30 hours or something. Like, it takes a long time to get through it. Because you like see the first area, there's like 4 bosses or 5 bosses. Then you move to another like part of the island, and then you like go into the casino. I don't know. Like it's a whole thing. Yo, this mall's kind of wrecked. Is this Coconut Mall? What happened to Coconut Mall? It used to be bustling. There used to be motorcycles riding everywhere. Ooh, need some bonus items. What is this? Aww. I can be a little snow boy. Oh, I think I used this earlier. This thing is so cute. Coconut Ball was bussin' back in the day. Exactly. This place used to be bussin'. What happened? First it was bussin' and now it's brussin'. Yeah! He played for several streams. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Back when he played games regularly? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Then it may have been the last boss. That's crazy, though. It's crazy that he would give up like that. Poppy, what the flip? That is hilarious, and I love it. I mean, have I ever given up? Like, I don't think I've given up at like a boss, but I definitely have given up games, so I got nothing to speak. I got nothing to say. The new one in the DLC is no good, though. Is that true? Do we need to confirm? Do I need to try it? How are they going to change the escalators into telegraphed ramps? I'm not like a huge Coconut Mall fan. Is that horrible to say? I didn't get to play the Wii version very much. I'm a Double Dasher. Double Dash was my game. We'd never had a Wii. Or we didn't have a Wii whenever I was in the house, so I never really got to play it. Anytime that I played it at my friend's house, I did love it, though. Like, it's a really good game, and I really enjoyed it. I just did not get to play it because I did not have it. Ooh! I definitely, yeah, like Double Dash, I played a lot of that. Oh, I gotta get out of this hand. Whoa, Kirby has quick time events? Oh, this is Pog. I love the text. I love the text. Gory Mong. Whoa, hey. Ah! Ah! Gory Mondo. Ah! Ah! Is this Dark Souls? Are you playing Elden Ring? It's exciting. Oh, I can make like little ice boys. That's cute. Double Dash is the best Mario Kart game. It's not even a contest. I agree. The courses are great. And Double Dash has every character has a unique ability, which makes every character kind of worth trying out. Yeah, it's worth trying out all of them, but yeah, there are clear winners. Also, I don't like cart customization. I find it to be a distraction. I find it to just be like, oh, you have to just look up the best cart and just use that if you want to win. Or everybody just plays the same cart. I don't know. It doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like the opposite of freedom. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, I don't know. It's, I guess... Ah! Let go! His head looks like a hairbrush. No, it looks... well, his mohawk looks kind of like a centurion. Look like some kind of centurion monkey. Stop. What is this thing? This guy's called Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong and Kirby mixed together. Ow. Does he have a little goatee? He needs to shave. He's got some stubble on his face, and it's kind of grossing me out. Ah. You just pick the characters and cart style that you like. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. But I want to win. Homestar. And I get upset knowing that other people have better carts. Like, I want to know that I'm failing because of my driving abilities. I don't want to be able to say, oh, it's probably their cart that made him win. I don't want to be able to say that. Ah! Do we get him? Oh, he just landed on our snowman. We built a snowman underneath him, then he stepped on it, and it was so cold he died. He slipped on an ice cube and got covered in boo-boos. Okay, now it's just a video. We beat it. I want to play this game so bad. I'm tempted to just like, I'm not going to, but I just want to play the demo again and again. Like, I want to just keep playing this. Look at the baby. And also you get to ride. They're reviving the mini game from Super Mario Sunshine. Look, it's the part from Mario Sunshine where you have to shoot the rockets. One of the jankiest parts of the game. Yay! Get to ride on the roller coaster and shoot rockets at a giant Bowser. Shucks. Death by snowman. Can you believe it, Sarah? We just killed that giant monkey with a bit of a snowman. Whoever heard. Oh, the minigame looks fun. And it's got fishing and gacha. I love fake gacha. Fake gacha in games is so amazing. Because you get all of the satisfaction of gambling without having to feel guilty about it. Like, I do feel a little bit guilty about Cookie Run in general. Because also there's other things that you use the premium currency on. Like, I don't just feel guilty in Cookie Run because I paid money. Even if it's the free currency, even if I got the currency for free, I'm still like, should I upgrade this? Should I build that? Should I use the gacha? I don't know. Using the gacha is a shameful thing. Have you played the Mario Bowser's Fury? That's so much fun. It's so good, Miss Ubi. And it's basically a free game. Oh, there's King DDD. Yay! I guess King DDD's probably in every Kirby game. But I love DDD. Did you just call Bay's IRL name? I don't think that I did. I must have accidentally said it. Oh! Oh, Kirby's so cute. He stuck his head in there. It says, the Kirby adventure continues. A new world of mysteries. Evolve your abilities. A town with lots to do. I'm totally buying this game. I want to play it right now. I want to play it right now. Nintendo, when can I play this game? I want to do it. Pink Shy Guy with a cheap cart is the best. Aww. Pink Shy Guy, what the heck? Wait a second. I have not played the new Mario Kart 8 content. That's just, that's all Nintendo Switch Online stuff, right? I think it's free. Sarah is Bear Wolf's IRL name. Are you doxing? Are you doxing right now? Viperius, the Doxmeister. I hope that Beowulf said you could say that. Yeah, the expansion pack right here. It's got the Nintendo 64 games. Mario 8 Deluxe. All booster content will be released by the end of 2023. We're not allowed to make numbers that big. Numbers don't go that high. You know that, Nintendo. Wow, doxing in 720p. Can you believe it? We're watching the stream in 720 and you're doxing. Ooh, I've never played any of these games. These games kind of weird. Who played these? Well, I've got it. What is on the update? I would have to go get my cartridge though. I have to go get me cartridge. Oh, what is this? Games and rewards. This is for like Nintendo. What? You can buy content in games for this? You can. Okay, some of this don't go into. But this you can buy. Wait, what? You can buy characters and stuff from Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo thing? Oh, they're profile icons. Oh, that's interesting. So there's oh, what? I could buy these? Where's the Sasha one? No Sasha! Why live? What? Who are these characters? Who wants to be this guy? Who wants to be this guy? Gross. Just kidding. Kind of handsome. But Animal Crossing goes by their birthday. Where's Sasha? They change them every month. Oh, when's Sasha's birthday? When Sasha, I'm looking up when Sasha's birthday is. I want to be Sasha. Sasha's so cute. I want to be Sasha in real life. I'm looking it up. I accidentally wrote Shasha. Shasha. Is their birthday's in May. They're a Taurus like me. I knew it. I knew it. They act like a Taurus. I can't believe it. A lazy rabbit. That sounds kind of like me. Timing is everything. Am I a lazy rabbit? I mean, rabbits are like kind of hyper and a little bit annoying. And I'm a lazy version of that. And I'm born May 19th in May. All right, all right. So it's coming up soon. It's coming up soon. Maybe I should pick a... I do like Coco. Coco's adorable. Judy's really pretty. I could just keep my egg profile picture for now, and I can be Sasha later. We can Sasha up later. All right. We can get Sashi. Get Sashi. This will close the application. Yes. Do it. Do it, I dare you. I was gonna maybe try Chocobo Racing just for funzos. Look up your Animal Crossing birthday twin. It's Mint. I remember my twin. I just didn't remember Sasha's birthday. But Sasha's May 19th. May 19th. And yeah. My birthday's May 2nd. So that is... I'm tempted. I do... Now this is not the actual game, you guys. This is another demo. This is another demo, and I want to see if it's any good. By the way, if anybody knows a good demo or something on the Switch to try, I'm just goofing around tonight because I just wanted to hang out with y'all guys. I just wanted to hang out with y'all, and tomorrow we'll play like a real game. I'll turn on the Doodle Redemptions too, and we'll try to work that into the stream. I think tomorrow we might be playing Elden Ring. I really, really want to beat the boss with y'all. I'm getting upset. I am getting upset with that game. We need to beat that boss. The first boss in the game has spanked us many, many times. And I've been watching people play Elden Ring, and like some people are saying that it took them like 20 hours to beat that boss. So I don't feel as guilty. I don't feel as guilty as I did. We're gonna beat that boss. I really, really want to get past it. Y'all have seen me fight it for like 6 hours or something. We have to beat it. Also, it's updating. Why didn't it update on the menu? I'm confused. Why is it updating here? Nintendo, please explain. Please explain this game. Oh. Saving. Is this Doom soundtrack? Okay, all right, it lightened up a little bit, but still, did we just enter the mosh pit? I'd be in the mosh pit.
Yeah! Chocobo! Yeah, Final Fantasy! Put on your roller skates!
I'm so excited. Everybody get in the pit. Get in the Chocobo pit. Aw, Chocobo pit. That sounds adorable. Hardcore music, dude. Whoa! I can't believe it. Chocobo Racing, kind of busted. Look at that boy. Oi, oi, oi. I do really, really love that you can have skates. Why is the music like this? Why? Also, Moogle. It's on the main menu. Yeah, dude. Can't believe that we're listening to this. Because Square never cheaps out. That's not cheaping out. That's not cheap. That's just way too hard. It's way too hard. Also, we're getting a weekly login. Apologies for the inconvenience. Okay, this music's more like it. What is this game, dude? This is really weirding me out, this game. It's to get pumped. I'm feeling pumped right now. I'm just changing whatever I can just for fun. Control settings. What can I adjust? Okay, I'm just gonna leave this. Okay, the music's kind of jamming. Chebe, what's up? How are you doing? Oi, oi, oi. We're gonna do some Chocobo racing real quick. Kenny Bay said she likes Biomutants. It's a very amazing game, and the trailer's nice and cool. Oh, so it's like a new game. Oh, Biomutants is... Oh, I remember what it is. That's the, like, furry game where you're like a raccoon character. I remember that Biomutants came out at the same time as Kenna, didn't it? I had to choose between Biomutants or Kenna, and this one hair is bothering me. Kenna and the Bridge of Spirits or Biomutants. Yeah, I remember Biomutants. I'm sorry, I had forgotten. It does look like a pretty fun game. It looks pretty fun. You made the right choice. Yeah, the community did say that it was way better. Kenna was really fun. Kenna was really fun. It was like a small little bite-size. It was like a bite-sized game. It felt good. This is the GP menu. Am I supposed to do the story? Okay, you guys, we're gonna be watching some story. It came out in 20 days. No, not 2018. No. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe that's like when it was first released, but like Biomutants released, like got its final version much later than that, right? It was not 2018. No chance. Okay. Kenna got released in 2021. I was about to say. Yeah, Kenna was really pretty. Yeah, 2021. And I thought that Biomutant was released at the same time. Beginner or master? Well, it says recommended for beginners. Story progression and rewards are the same. What? Why play anything else but master, I guess? It came out in 2021. All right. Maybe it had like an early beta or something. Okay. I want to have the roller skates. I don't want to ride in a cart. Chocobo GP, open it up, prologue.
Where is it?
Oh, it's
To think
voiced.
I dropped it after having come so far.
I got I like this chicken man.
Perhaps it's over there.
Perhaps so. Hooded fat Chocobo.
Hold it!
Six-armed man. Whoa.
No way, Koopa! No way, Koopa!
That's where the music comes from. It's because of this guy right here. He's to blame. He's playing it on his radio in his car.
Yes, I'll hide away in this forest.
I'll hide away in this forest.
I like sound effects.
Oh, why must this happen to me? If I were a little bit faster, I'd have no problem shaking him off.
The music is totally busting. The music is way, way nicer than the story is. It's so good, though. This sounds like it's so serious. Go Bo! I like the hammy voice acting. Kind of reminds me of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Where am I?
Where am I? Giant shard.
Sincerest apologies. It was never my intention to involve you.
God? Your sincerest apologies. Listen to the music. It's so good. This is a kart racer. Why is this music so good? Yeah, why is this music like emotional and deep?
What does that mean? I'm just trying to escape.
For a little Moogle kart racer. Kami-sama.
A coincidence indeed. I too was fleeing a pursuit, whereupon I came.
What, Koopa?
I'm not gonna die, am I? You may die. We may all die.
Nay,
Kart racing is dangerous business. What does this have to do with kart
The
racing?
last of my strength unto you. With this power, you can escape the force that pursues you.
The force that pursues you. We need a hidden power. Is that the hidden power of kart racing?
I simply ask that you allow me to temporarily take up residence within you.
To be with you, within you. You're gonna be, God wants to possess you. You're gonna be possessed by this?
I don't fully understand, but if you can save me, that's fine by me, Koopa.
Yeah, he's just accepting this? Dude, this guy's just like, sure, you can possess my body. No problem.
You have my gratitude. Now then.
I'm scared. I think that this might be the new antagonist. Go bow!
Where'd he go? Why, that little... To think that he managed to give me the slip.
Can I change the dub? Can I change the dub, please? Where'd he go? Why, that little... To think that he managed to give me the slip. Ooh.
Who goes
Is that a chocobo whistle? Somebody whistling for a chocobo
I'm not
mount?
giving anyone the slip, Koopa.
Koopa.
When you need him, he's there in his red ride. Whistling a tune, he's there.
Dude, no longer fleeing Moogle. The Moogle's taking their stand.
With eyes gently sparkling behind his brilliant hair. Nobody knows who he is, but everybody knows his name. Have no fear. Racing Hero X is here.
Racing Hero X. Nice.
Who it is? If it isn't the Moogle from earlier, I finally got you right where I want you.
I can barely hear the dialogue over this music.
Race me. If I beat you, I'll be...
Dude, these characters look so cool. Oh, you don't want to race this. You don't want to race Racing King X. Look at him, baby. Is this the demo? Yeah.
You cannot beat me.
I didn't pay for it.
Once I win, I'll have you listen to my every
I think it's just called Light Alchemic. It lets you, I think it lets you try out a lot of different things in the game. I remember reading the review that was like, it said that this game gives you like a ton of content in this demo because they have like a lot of confidence in their product. Like the reviewer was specifically saying like this shows a lot, the way that they made this demo shows a lot of confidence that it's a good game. All right, it's time to race. Player must place before Gilgamesh. All right, so we got to beat Gilgamesh. Let's go over the basic techniques. Starting boost, drift. Okay, first let's do the starting boost. You did it. Keep holding A to accelerate. I can't turn yet. Next, try to drift. Use L to turn to the right. Good job handling your ride. I know that you press right. I know you press right to go right. You press left to go right. Hey, pixelated noms, what the heck? Yo, it's been a while. That's my first. Oi. Pixelated noms was my first emote artist. Boy, how are you doing, Pixel? It's good to see you, pixelated noms. It's been a while. I've still got some of your emotes over on Discord. You guys, if you've ever seen that Uwu emote, if you've ever seen the Earl Uwu emote, I still see that used pretty dang often. Pixelated noms. That's one of my boyfriend's favorite emotes. Oi, pixelated noms. How are you doing? We're playing some demos right now. We just played the Kirby demo. It's tons of fun. I'm super duper looking forward to the full game. And then yeah, we just decided to try out this little Moogle racing. I had it downloaded, so I was like, what the heck? Let's try it. It's like a kart racer. Good job handling your ride. Next, let's try drifting. I didn't get to try anything. You pause the game. Press A. Okay, so A, you hold R. All right, sweet. Okay, press A. Tilt that to the right. Press and hold R. Look at it. It's not letting me practice. Okay, go away. Go away. Go away. I can't practice that. See? That's your fault. That's your fault, game. The game just tricked me. The game tricked me and I can't move. Oh my gosh. Okay. Turning right. I'm doing it. Yeah. Drift spark great. Press A. Yeah, keep drift going. While you're drifting, you can adjust. Yeah. I know. This game's unnecessary. All right, there we go. Nice. We should bring back Uwu and Shock back as follower emotes. I could do that as follower emotes. That's a good point. Twitch did change up a lot of emote things recently. They finally gave me animated emotes. They added follower emotes. I could bring some back as follower emotes. I hadn't thought of doing that. That's a good idea. I should go over the art that I have right now. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay, there we go. I'm getting it. I'm feeling it. I want to get to pinks. The music's jamming. I love it. Ah! Drifting is definitely different than Mario Kart. I gotta get it. Mobile doesn't have follower emotes. Oh, it's still broken. What the heck, Twitch? What's wrong with you? There we go. Great boost. What did I just hit? Is that a special ability? Oh my god. I just murdered that man. Ah! It does on iPhone? Oh, it's Android. It's Android that has a problem? This is pretty fun so far. Do you stream daily? I don't know if daily's the right word. I stream as much as I can, basically. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with streaming right now. Because, I mean, I love to do it, but I have, like... Oh, what? I lost my spark? Dude. I was going to say, I have a little bit of a weird relationship with it. Because, like, I always want to stream. I always want to stream, but I'm trying to, like, take time off for myself. Like, I'm trying to take better care of myself, but it's really tricky. I don't know. I find trouble... with like balancing work life, kind of like live stream balance has been difficult. Stationary baby one is, yeah, the stationary baby is a follower emote. These are the emotes that I have. Do I have follower emotes? Yeah, there's only one follower emote. There we go. Because of an Android, yeah, Androids apparently they have a problem with the follower emotes. But I stream like maybe 5 days a week. I think five days a week is a pretty good way of breaking it down.
Don't step out of line again.
That's enough of a beating for today. What? I beat you, boy.
No, you don't, Koba!
Oh no, you don't.
You
Look at that pose. Menacing, absolutely menacing. Put this as my profile picture right there. My body! You crushed my body, and you destroyed my car! Oh, I should scroll up. Did you say anything, Pixelate Noms? Yo! Kind of a jam. This ends the free trial. To continue playing it. Nah, fam. But that's just the episodes, right? Isn't there some more stuff that we could try? I want to try to be a bird. I want to be a bird with Zoom shoes. Okay, that's as much story as we can do. Play with players online. Okay, you definitely can't do that. That's the full version thing. Okay, so select character. Can I actually play different characters? You customize my bird. You give them stickers for like reactions. Or, oh no, it goes on the cart. Or in this case, on the little spoilers. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, you can only be this character. Well, that's fine. That's what I wanted. I want to hear that noise again. That's so cute. Oh my goodness. I love the baby. Why does it say new characters when I can't pick a different one? Oh, I can. I can be a girl. I could be a pink-haired girl. I could be a monster. I could be Spyro's older brother. You can be Spyro's older brother on a tank. You can be a little girl. Or, yeah, I'm definitely, hey, Pixelated Noms! Thank you for the sub! What the heck? Like I said, Pixelated Knobs has been here forever. Oi! Thank you so much for the 13 months. Welcome back, Pixel. Pixel, welcome back. Oi, oi, oi. We still hanging out. We still gaming. We're still gaming. I appreciate it, Pixel. It's good to see you again. We got a lot of catching up to do. It's been a while, so you wanted to show support. Oh, well, you don't ever feel like you have to. I like hanging out with you. I like hanging out with you, Pixel. You don't ever, nobody has to support at all. If you're here, you're supporting me. I need mental support more than anything. Look at those shoes. I love it. Oi, oi, oi. But yeah, we got some catching up to do. Lots has happened. True. I think we're gonna be bird. We're gonna bird up. Bird up, gamers. Okay, I wanna. Oh, team stickers. Cancel. No teams. Whoa. Okay, so this is like a tourney mode. Bird up. Bird. It's Tay. How are you doing, Tay? What's up? Oi, oi, oi. Bird up. That should be another sound effect. Okay, so I've come up with a couple of ideas. We need bird up. Alchemic, what were we saying earlier that was a funny sound effect? I'm trying to remember. I want to write down bird up. Bird up. Bam, bam, bam. I like that. Okay, I might be able to remember later, Alchemic, if you don't remember. It's fine, it's fine. It was, maybe it was like a musical. It may have been like a little musical ditty or something. Tay, how is your golden saucer? How's your Sunday going, Tay? Look at the saucer, my favorite part of all of Final Fantasy. It wasn't hi. Oh, it may have been. Yeah, maybe a Kirby thing. It'd be really cute to have. I want to get a redeem that's just like say hi. Or like get welcomed into the chat. Like if you just like show up, then Kirby will say hi. Something. Oh shoot, dude. I didn't realize that I was still. Aww. Thank you for saving the baby birds. How do I use my abilities? Oh, there we are. Okay, I can barely see what. Oh, I just used a. What? Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now! I'm flying off the edge. Maybe should I be watching the mini map? I'm confused by this thing. Okay, I think I might be drifting too much. Is that even possible? I don't remember it being possible to drift too much. Oh, there's the okay, there's the trick button. Ah! This is too fast. Slow down. Slow down. Ah! It's hard. No! This is hard. I'm not good at Mario Kart already. How am I supposed to use my ability? How am I supposed to use Y whenever I'm using A? What, do you expect me to take my finger off of the zoom button? Oh, that's so fast. Also, I know that this game has character abilities. Like, each character has different, It seems like cheating. I like it. Well, fell. Come back! Come back. Oh, come back. Wait, these aren't real people. These are, right? Oh! What? Hey, don't kill me. Let me live. I want to live. No! No! Eclectic Sapphire, hey! Thank you so much for the raid. You guys, welcome in the raiders. Hello, hello. I'm sorry. Did it say perfect race? No! Thank you so much, Eclectic Sapphire. How was your stream? Oi, you were last playing music. Wait, what? Wait, whoa. We were making some music? I wanna give you a follow, Sapphire. Oh, you're my belly dancer friend. Yes. Oh, I think I'm already following you. I'm gonna double check. Double check. I remember you. You've been for a while. I remember you. Oi. Eclectic Sapphire friendo. Wait. Let me just double check that I followed. I know that I looked at your channel a long time ago. I hope I followed. Twitch has a nasty habit of destroying my follows. I'll do it. Dancing is so cool. I love. Oh, I'm already following. Okay, good. I love all of the like extracurricular stream things. Like I watch primarily games on Twitch, but it is so cool to see people that do like flow arts or dancing or crafts or even Lego builds or all of that stuff is so cool. It's so cool. I hope that your dancing was great. I'm sure that you need some water and some food, so please take care of yourself. But if you want to hang out, we've been mostly talking about Kirby, because that's what we played mostly, is the Kirby demo. But I thought that we'd try this, I thought that we'd go ahead and try this weird bird racing game. I'm gonna say don't quit, because I want to do another course. This is just a free, wait, what? So is it always the same? I think you only get to race on one thing. I'm gonna maybe you have to keep winning. It looks suspiciously like Mario Kart, but with Chocobos. It is very similar. But one of my favorite things about Mario Kart Double Dash is that each character has a special. Like they each have their own special ability and it makes them like valuable. And in this one, it works kind of the same. Like each different type of character, they have their own little special that they can pick up. But yeah, it's very similar to Mario Kart, but I don't know. There's a lot of kart racers out there, so it isn't necessarily whether it's like Mario Kart. It's about if it's better than like Sonic racers. I don't even remember all of them. It's like Garfield Kart. Okay, Big Bridge. I played this Big Bridge. So these aren't real people, right? Because it did say it's not multiplayer. This is called Chocobo GP. But some of the names look suspiciously like humans. Right? That one is Coco. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Oh no! Oh yeah, you forgot about the Sonic racing game. You had it on GameCube? Hey, nice. Yeah, there's a lot of kart racers out there. Are these real people? I don't think so. Ow! How dare you? This is Chocobo Grand Prix. This is a brand new one. There have been other ones. Why did I just press R? Why did that blow me up? Was I supposed to avoid pressing that button? Because it made it look like you were supposed to press it. But I think what it was trying to say is press this button and you'll die. Didn't understand. This game's a little confusing for me. I'm struggling with some of these mechanics. Like this drifting is weird. Ah! Let's go! Ah! No, that was a bad portal. I thought that was a good portal. I'm so confused. Yeah, get wrecked. No, don't look so sad. Don't look sad, you cute little bird. Oh no. This game kind of hard. I don't know how to win. Let me see. You might pick this up. I mean, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna play much more of it though. It's just making me want to play Mario Kart, not gonna lie. Wow, you're bad at this game. I am bad at this game. It does not feel like Mario Kart at all. I would definitely have to like, I would have to play a fair bit of this game to get good at it. It's not easy. I'm playing on the hard mode. And yeah, I was expecting it to be easier, but it is not. Also, this GP, it looks like I don't race in these other maps. Did it just like use AI to determine which characters are the best and then I'm playing against those players? What the heck is happening? Why did it skip straight to the top? No, now we're down at contenders? What? Japan's kicking your butt? Oh, Japanese players? Is this online? Is this online right now? It isn't, right? There's no way that the online works this well. And it like didn't ask for permission. It's a Grand Prix tournament, but there's a multiplayer section that I didn't pick. Snacker, roll, gallon, hinata, kondo, hinata. I can read a few of these names. You didn't advance, so you don't move on to the next race. Yeah. And start over. Yeah, we just started over again. God, that happens. That happens whenever I get hit with one thing. Everybody goes in front of me. Oops, that's cool. Nice drift. Okay, this is a shield. The drifting feels very yucky in this game. Very yucky indeed. Ah! Was that a good portal or a bad one? That's a bad portal. I ain't touching it. Oh, we did a trick. Adorable. No, this drifting works so different. You can't make up ground on the drift. What is that? Why didn't that work? I had my boost active. Ah! Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's going great. Oh, here we go. Yaha! Go, Chocobo, go. Go, you little demon. Little bird demon. Why didn't that work? It's so bad. I'm so bad. Let's go. No, it didn't work. It never works. Okay, we got a shard. Sweet. Okay, I'm not drifting. That's good, I guess. Look, no drift. Still don't work. Okay, give me the zoom. Go. Faster. No. Hey, I got third place. I'm a Haribo. I imagine blue is good. Yeah, the blue portals are good. The red portals are bad. All right, we've made it. We're moving on to the next round. Sweet. This game's hard. Maybe also this character's stats I'm not good with. Do I have to click A? Oh, look at it. It's got like a timer and everything. I think that this might be multiplayer. Yay, we get to move on next round. Can I pick a new character or do I have to stick? Well, but look, all of the characters are Moogles. Or is that just saying like they're random? Is that just what it looks like whenever they're a random character? Leave race. Music's kind of busting. Player 2 has joined the game. Pretty cool. I didn't see any of the names. I don't know if they're real humans or not. Okay, so now we're racing. Okay, so I'm still racing against 7 people, and the top 4 get to move on. Is that how it works? That's kind of cool. I like this. I like this setup. I would enjoy this for sure. But I wonder how. I guess your racing level determines. Okay, let me see if I can read any of these. It looks like that person's name Momo, I think. Let's see. What that one is Kyatsu. I don't know how to read this. I gotta work on my hiragana and my katakana. I really would need to work more on my katakana. Okay, I'm gonna try to be like a little more reserved with my drifting. Because I've been kind of busting out the drifting all the time, and I think it's been causing me problems. See, like this is where you're supposed to drift, but I still don't get it. Maybe I need to like not hold the accelerator all the time. But that's how I do racing games. But that's how you race. Ooh, I just yoinked that, didn't I? Ooh, that is really uncomfortable. The teleporting thing. Yeah. All right. What was that I just got? Okay, this is another portal? No, that's a zoom. Oh, it's a boost. That would have been good. Bonk. Ooh, I got a bonus and hit the wall like a brick. Move it! Move, you stupid dinosaur! I'm trying to win. Oh my god. Dinosaur almost killed me, man. Ooh, these respawn so quickly. I will destroy every one of y'all. I am an angry god. Alright, here we go. Move it, Birdo. It's me versus a bird. Is that even giving you an advantage? You seem like a smart guy. Ow? Like, ow? Okay, get my zoom on. No, just got stuck on the wall. Stop, come back. Come back, Cloud, or whatever your name is. You frick! Stop! I want to win! I want to win! Why y'all passing me? Stop. Ah! What was... Oh my god. I'm getting destroyed again. I'm in 8th place now. That really went down the toilet. I was in 3rd place. What happened? They just started smacking me. I got smacked the heck. You heard Momo and you raised your head? I think that one of those characters was one of the people was named Momo. Momotaro. Racing games frustrate you so much? Yeah, we're not gonna play this game. He wants to win worse when he gets smacked. Yeah, cause it's like it's rude. It's rude. I didn't hit like anybody. They're just toxic. They're toxic. They were using abilities and items. I didn't use any of those things. Oh, we got Gil. Okay, that's this thing. Okay. Dimitrix Demon. Burb. Burb. Maybe it's being the burb that is the problem. I'm not sure, but it is very adorable. It's very adorable. Maybe we'll try another character. Let's see. I could be a woman. Or I could be a monster. Okay, this is very speedy. Very speedy, not very grippy. I need someone with high acceleration. Okay, better drift. She's the best character, clearly. She's clearly the best character. I don't know what her ability is. Look at the little baby on the back. That thing's so creepy. I love it. I want that. How do I have that on the back of my car? I want a friend. Can I have a friend, please? Oh, wait, we should customize. Oh, shucks. I was gonna stop. I want to customize. I think it's got like, there's probably like a lot of characters in this game. Costumes. No, I want to be a maid. I want to be a maid. Okay. Ooh, I think the little wing looks kind of cool. What'd you just say to me? Wait. Okay, there we go. Chocobo GP. It says team stickers. I don't want to use any team stickers. I don't care about no team. I ain't a team player. She's wearing white mage robes. She's a mage. Well, Kenny, thank you. Watching you play has made me feel better about how I play Mario Kart. I'm better at Mario Kart than I am at this game. I'm not good at Mario Kart, but listen. I can kart. I can kart. I rarely get last in Mario Kart. I don't get last in Mario Kart, but I do. I have gotten last in this game. But this is a completely different game. They're not comparable. Everything's off. The drifting feels gross in this game. It works completely different. Momentum's different. Yeah, I'm not good at this. Let's go. Yeah. Mario Kart, I don't know. The only reason why I don't really want to play Mario Kart is because everyone's playing it. I don't know. It seems oversaturated. Seems oversaturated, and I don't like Mario Kart that much, so I'm not gonna play it. It's yeah, Mario Kart is fun, but I generally like just playing it locally. I don't really like online. I don't like racers in general, so playing Mario Kart online or something like that, it's not very fun to me. I don't like racing games, but I play some kart like local with friends. Oh yeah, I was gonna look into the into the new Wii Sports game. Okay, not supposed to hit that. Yeah, the other thing is that, okay, I knew I wasn't supposed to hit that either. The other thing is that I'm not always 100% sure like what I'm supposed to hit in this game. Okay, and I got Y. I got my Y attack. What does that do? Okay, so it's a shield, so I probably should have saved that. There we go. We got some shards. I'm guessing these shards are the coins. And the more you collect, the higher your like top speed is or something. Yeah, that's a boost. Okay, I don't know how that didn't hit me. I don't know if there was like a banana in the road that stopped that shell from hitting me. See, like that didn't freeze me. That one didn't. Is that a homing attack that I just sent out? Well, what's going on? I'm so confused. Okay, I'm gonna be done with this game. I just want to win. I just want to win. I want to be the top contender. Nice. Parker. Parkers. Noise, noise, noise. Let me move on. I want to beat some more players. Heck yeah. Got to lose the next one if you want to be done. I want to win. I want to make it to the top, baby. Oh yeah, maybe we could play like one round of Tetris 99. Ooh, maybe I should play some Tetris 99. It's Opsy. Hey, Ops. How are you doing? Oi. Welcome, welcome. Hello. I'm playing some of this stinking Moogle game because we watched that video together. And we played the Kirby demo earlier. We've been just goofing around, playing some demos. Bonus stream, short bonus stream. I'm glad that I got to see all of you. Short bonus stream. I missed my boost. I'm bad at this game. Oh, we already no the C the okay, it's my fault because like you have to initiate your drift and then you do like the counter steering. But sometimes it's like reading it off oddly. And it's like I'm counter steering and that changes the direction of the drift. Like the timing of all of it is suspicious. I don't get it yet. It's very precise. Oh, you can throw things behind you. I like that though. I do like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, yeah, I want to use whatever that was. What is this? Oh, it's a boost. Ah, that's fricked. No, you have to press A. Ah. How am I supposed to hit Y? You hold A to go, and you press Y for your ability. So you have to take your finger off the accelerator. It's really uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. No, we've got wrecked. I lose again. No. Last. No. Last, please. Oh, no. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm too embarrassed to live. Aw, she's so cute when she fails, though. She's like, ha, 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 ha. We'll get him next time. Ha, 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 ha. Just a temporary inconvenience. Ha, 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 ha. It's all right, little buddy. We'll win eventually. And he's like, we'll never win. We always lose. This is garbage. You'll never succeed. You've never won a game in your life. Don't worry. I can learn. I'll practice some more. I'll do better. Yeah, that's what she's saying. I'll do better. And he's like, you'll never do better. I've been watching you for 3,000 years. You haven't improved, not even a little bit. It's pretty fun. This is pretty fun. I'm actually kind of mad. I want to play it again. That's baloney. That's baloney. I don't deserve last place. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. This game kind of cheated me out of my win there. Kind of cheated me out of my win. I feel like we can do better. Also, Lupus, what did you just say? Have a good night. I enjoyed the lurk. Hooray! Lupus, I'm glad that you enjoyed your lurkies. Get some rest. I'm sad that we didn't get to talk to you, Lupus, but I'm glad that you got to hang out with us. Nice. Soak in those good vibes, Lupus, and enjoy your sleep. Oh yeah, speaking of sleep, The other night, I had a dream that I could walk on water. It was very fun. And I wasn't ever walking on it. I was like running on it. So if I could get like a running start, I could like flex a muscle inside of my body that would like make sure that I basically was like low gravity. I think I could have probably floated. I have had a lot of good dreams in the past where I could float. Like I can't normally fly. I don't think I've ever had a dream where I could fly. But I have dreams where I can like flex a muscle, like I can put forward effort to stop gravity from working. So like sometimes it'll work like I can climb ladders or something and I can like float out past that, like at that height. So I still would have to like jump off of things to like get a flying start sort of. But yeah, I was running on water. I was like, so I was jumping between rocks on like a riverbed, and I was jumping between them, and I had long, beautiful hair, even more long and even more beautiful than my current hair. But my hair was so beautiful, and somebody like pointed me out, was like, "Wow, look at her go across the water," and I was like, I got mistook for a woman. It made me happy for some reason. I don't know. I was like, my hair's that beautiful. Thank you. It made me happy. But it was a good game. Let's go. Whoa! It's probably because I saw a TikTok of someone taking care of somebody's hair and like brushing it. There's really, really beautiful hair, and then he turns around and he's got a big beard. It's pretty funny. I like it. That's what you get for assuming. Okay, did I just lose again? Okay, I got one more lap. Here we go. Let's get it. What's behind me? Stop! Why are y'all getting all the cool abilities? Where's my abilities? This game's so hard. I'm in fourth. We can still win. Oh, we can still win. They're gonna get stuck because that ability sucks. Yeah, bird mode. Bird up. Bird up, bird up. Oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna make it. Yes. Yes. Oh, eat my rubber. All right. Nice. Not even last place of the winners. Let's go. Ahsoka, how are you doing? Oi, oi, oi. We're doing some racing. Racing. Ahsoka, how's your evening going? Were you playing some Valorant? Huh? Just got home from Valorant. Just got home from a long day at Valorant. I need to relax. I need to relax after a long day. Long day of slaughtering people. How did you know? Because it's a good game and because you play it all the time. Valorant, did you win? Are you winning? Did you kill? Wait a second. Ahsoka, did you actually like shoot people in that game? Wait a minute. How violent is this game? Is Opsy still here? Oh, you are. You just cried a bunch. Oops, just cried all over the carpet and actually kind of wet it a little bit. The carpet is damp. But Opsy, I hope you're having a good day. Did you just wake up? Have you gotten some coffee? I hope you got some coffee. Place within the top 4 to participate. Okay, I've never beaten this race. I like this guy's sword character, but I'm also like, how does he have that character? Am I racing with people that have the full game? That would be actually really cool. Not for me necessarily, but really good for like the game's like lifespan. Really good for like a nice beefy release, a beefy starting release. Oh, that's hard. How am I supposed to? I went partially so fast because of my boosts that I got from my trick that I did. Oh, I'm like taking advantage of their rings. Yo. Nice. Okay, I'm in 4th right now. Not doing great. Oh, frick. Oh, I should have hit my Y! It sucks. Why is the special ability not on the triggers? Why is the special ability not set to a trigger? The item is set to a trigger. Yeah. I'm sure you can edit the settings, but it is entirely stupid. Also, I totally just missed. Why? He zoomed. Zooming right into a wall. No, stop! It's so confusing because I pressed Y to try to do my ability and it forces me to take my finger off the accelerator and slows me down. It is horrifying. It is horrifying. They teach you to take your finger off the accelerator, so I randomly just slow down to a crawl. This is horrible. Okay, here it is. Look, I gotta click the Y. Gotta decelerate. Go. That's right. Koopa Cups get wrecked. Get freaking wrecked. Yeah, you can probably change it on shows. Just blasted him at the end. Lucky item. Lucky item. The coffee's still warm. The coffee's still warm, baby. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Look at those blankies. Blankies. Yeah. That looks like what the little baby's saying. Wah. Okay, we've never made it here before, you guys. We've never made it to this point. Gold saucer. We're back to the gold saucer. It says it's a long course. This thing is so difficult for me. There's the Japanese. I think that's Hyachi. Oh no, I was way too slow. Hyachi Moon? Hyachi Moon? I don't know. I didn't read it fast enough. Oh, you stole my ability. No. I think whenever you're boosting, you can't drift. Oh, where'd they get this idea from? I do like Rainbow Road. Rainbow Road is a good level. Okay, I don't really see where the like drifting comes in here. Looks more like it's a trick. Oh, look at that! There's a shortcut. Oh, that's horrifying. This is a very scary level. I do not love it. I'm honestly. What is that? Why does he just show up and beat me with a stick? What did I do? What did I do to deserve that? No, I just hit a backward portal. I was thinking that my strat might be to just not fall off, because surely everyone's gonna fall off once. But unfortunately, I think we have already thrown this one. Yeah, because these players, they know what they're doing. They're good. You need a Blanky t-shirt? I don't know if Blankies is a full picture. I might have to ask Frulio about that. Might have to ask Frulio how he made that. Maybe Frulio did make the art more than just that little, oh shoot. Well, off the edge we go. Maybe Frulio did make it more than that square, in which case we could maybe make it into something. Okay, I bet you this, they're already passing the finish line. Oh, that's right. Eat my dust. Eat my dust, one person that is behind me now. Okay, it's me versus them. Cheater. That's cheating. Okay, it's me versus them. It's this person that can't win. Don't let them win. No! They win! We both fell off the edge. I have a chance. See you later. See you later. Wouldn't want to. No! How'd you get that? No, come back! No! I should have just been more careful. No, get him, hit him. Oh, he's got a boost. You suck. You cheated.
The light goes on.
No! Actual last place. Dang it. Actual last place. Look at him. He's so mad. He's like, we didn't do barely any better. Look, it's an improvement. It's an improvement. Stop picking on me. Stop picking on me. I got an item ticket. Wait a minute. Can we actually use these? Quit? You bet I want to quit. I want to see what you can buy. Shop? Can I actually buy things? This is the demo, though. I wouldn't expect that you could buy things. Yeah, it can't be purchased with the free trial version. That makes sense. Moogle Sphere. I wish I could move to the Moogle Sphere. Oh, look, you can buy things with coins. Okay. Who is this? Hot item, it says. I'll be the decider of that. That's a hot item right there. Could we not objectify whoever this is? Also, I have some mithril. I have 1,000 mithril. Look at this. It's a prize pass. There's a season pass for this game. Dude, Pog. Do you have the Moogle season pass? You guys, okay, so y'all play Chocobo Racing, but do you have the prize pass? You have to buy the prize pass. Oh, that's cute. Is this music? No, where's the Sinso de Chocobo? All the Chocobo music is adorable. I don't know where the actual Chocobo music is, though. What's that quote? Why does he just show up and beat me with a stick? Yeah, I don't understand. It like shows R. I think that you might need to like tap R over and over. Position dropping down, but I can't get up. Yeah, that sounds about right. Position dropping down, but I can't give up because I'm a Chocobo. I'm a Chocobo in a Choco world. I don't want to be this ugly character. I don't have to be this ugly character, right? Because they're yucky. They're kind of yucky and I don't like them. But they kind of look like a good boy. They look like a good boy, but they also look yucky. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. They seem like a pet. They seem like a good pet, like a doggo. Like a good little dino doggo thing that's like,
Oh, I love you guys. Thanks for being friends with me.
But he's also kind of yucky looking. Also, Peps, what's up? Hey, Garrett. Oi, 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 Garrett. How are you doing? Oi, 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 oi. It's Garrett. Garrett of the Peach. Garrett of the Peach. Hey, oi, 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 oi. Did your name color? Did you just change your color? Like immediately? Did you walk into here and change your color? Hey, he's a yucky good boy, Garrett. Everybody welcome Garrett. No longer the other Garrett. No longer the other Garrett. Now you are just Garrett. Hashtag just Garrett. Hashtag just Garrett things. This game is pretty fun. But it does cost like $50, I think. I think it is like a $50 title, which is kind of crazy. Corey! The blank case! I love that baby! I love it! There's gonna be another one. I'm getting Frulio to make another one. I think for Frulio, I think the next one that I want to get is a head pat. I want like a little head pat with a disembodied hand that's going like beep, 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 beep. And Squirrel is like got his eyes closed, mouth fully ooh-wooed, being kind of like squished. Adorable. Need head pat emote. Head pat. I know. Yeah. We've got like 5 animated emotes that we can get. We're allowed to have 5 animated emotes. It's not going to be the do 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 do. It's not going to be one of those basic head pats. I want it to be like an actual animated thing. This again, the interdimensional rift omega hyperspeed. We're going against Koji? I hope I said that right. I don't know. What? Is that Cactar? Cactar is just running. Hey! You little... Hey, you jerk. He looks like he does not follow the laws of physics whatsoever. Cactar is just running and sliding on one leg and also is wearing a wig of our forefathers. He looks like an American founder. Cactar is cheating, and I will not accept this. I will not accept defeat by a stupid cactus. Cactar does as they please. They don't even obey the laws of physics. I mean, obeying the laws of the land is one thing. Like, I don't even like doing that. But the laws of physics, I thought that we were all beholden to those. Okay, now I'm starting to get the hang of this game. Yeah, get in front of me. I freaking dare you, dude. I'm getting this. This is mine. I can't even use it yet. It's still mine. Ooh. No! No, I missed! No, I missed! Dang it, that is unfortunate. Now I might lose. This game can like turn in a moment. It can turn from a win to a oh no. From yay to nay in 5 seconds flat. That was the last. Good thing I barely won. I mean, barely survived. I didn't win. A headbutt. Oh, baby. Aw, that's so cute. The slap pat. I would never slap that baby. Is that an otter? Is that an otter? Things that are cute have been hurting me so much more recently. Recently, things that are adorable give me more physical pain than they used to. I don't know why. If I see like cute things, it already hurt me, but it hurts me more now. I don't know if I've become like weakened. Don't know if I've seen too many cute things or not enough of them. I don't know, but I might need a higher tolerance for cute things. Not sure. What'd you say? You can do it. Believe in me. Who believes in you? I won, Rosera. I won. I did it. I did it. We're passing on to the next rank. Oh, you're going to go to bed? Tayaki, get some rest. Thanks for hanging out. Oi, oi, oi. Much love, Tayaki. Good luck with tomorrow. I hope that you have a wonderful day. A wonderful day and some good sleeps. I hope that you have some good dreams. Hope that you have some good dreams. Make sure to have some good dreams. What is that from? Do 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 do. Oh, it's the cookie run, right? Oh yeah, I need to pick Tayaki's brain next. Maybe tomorrow or next time that I see you, Tayaki. I gotta pick your brain about cookie run. Because you are pulling off some absolute witchcraft on our guild. I gotta learn about this, but not tonight. Not tonight. Rest well. Ow! Let's see. That's what I would look like if I picked the wrong one. I played with the Cookie Run music off too. I had never heard Cookie Run music in my entire life till I went to Oak's house. And Oak's had the music and the sound effects playing all the time. I mute all mobile games instantly. As soon as I download it, I go straight to the settings, immediately turn off all sound. Because I don't play mobile games with sound on. Everything kind of frozen. Do you ever feel like a frozen cube? All right, I'm at a passable rank at the moment. At the moment, here we go. I'm trying to drift less, as the drifting's just making more problems for me, cause I'm not good at it yet. Okay, there we go. Got 2 items out of that. Nice. Okay, that's like homing ice. What the heck? Yo, got a blast. Okay, should I shoot this in front of me? Okay, I probably should have just shot it behind me. Whoa, bird up. Look out. Okay, don't get my item yet because I'm frozen. Oh, we did it. Nice. Did it say perfect race? What did I do? Hey, what's up? What's up, Heartless? How are you doing? Let's go. I barely survived. Let's go. You're mad at Cookie Run? We're on break. I do the guild. It's very basic dailies. What you said? You're mad at it? We're on a break? Yeah, I mean, take your time. Like take a break. Take a break from Cookie Run. Just do your dailies and don't bother with any of the like production upgrade arena. Like just let it go. What? What's this? But yeah, Linz, I mean, it's a mobile game. Like, you probably just play a little bit too much of it. Like, you're probably just feeling a little bit burnt out, you know? Take a break from it. I think I'm gonna take like a slight break from it. It's too bad that crashed because we were passing on to the next one. Maybe we'll do another one. I don't want to end with it. I don't want to end with it crashing. We're like learning. We're getting better, dude. We're getting better. You love the music and sound effects in Cookie Run? Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's cozy music. I do like the sounds, but I don't listen to mobile game stuff. It's too distracting. Parappa. Parappa. You just gotta keep believing. I'm trying to remember. He's like, this is where my parents died, Parappa. This is where I go to think about my dead parents. What is it? I'm trying to remember. He's like, this is where my parents died, Parappa. This is where my parents died. Oof, oof. I can't remember how the meme goes, but it's pretty good. He says, oof, oof. That's the main part I remember. But you will do the guild? Yeah, that's something great about the guild, Linz, is that for one, it can be done very quick. For two, you can only do 3 a day. And for 3, it doesn't, doing your daily stuff, your other daily stuff, doesn't really affect your guild's, like, contribution. Like, over time, you'll make your cookies better so that you can do more damage. But it's really not like, it's not like a daily thing. Just so long as you do if you do your dailies there, then you're doing great. You're doing great. Just take a break from it. You'll be much more interesting whenever you go back. Okay, I'm jamming R. Is that how you stop it? I just jammed R. He didn't hit me with a stick. No stick hit. No stick run. That worked. Okay, yeah, you gotta slap it. You just gotta slap the R button. Like Quasi. I should have just tried to change my my keys. I don't know if they let you customize your controls. I think they do. I saw it. Right now you sign in twice a day. Yeah, I sign in probably twice a day. Some days I only sign in once. I don't really love waking up to Cookie Run. I don't like waking up to cookies in my bed. But yeah, I have done that for a while. Whoa, zap zap. But yeah, I'm trying not to make it like my entire day now. Just the end of my day is Cookie Run now. I'll just like play before I go to bed. But like last night, I didn't get to play very much. Oh, I get to use the stick guy. The stick guy kind of looks like the devil in Soul Eater. Yeah, get frick, dude. Oh, it's just the final lap. I thought I was about to beat him. Okay, got a bonus shield. My special ability is a shield, though. What? That hit me? That hits me, dude? I kind of thought that thing that I just hit, I thought that it would, like, move out of the way because I was invincible. Okay, I'm tapping. Focused on not getting... What? I just wasted all my time hitting that! I just wasted all my time hitting that stupid button, and it still hit me. How am I supposed to know if I did it or not? Why not? Do I just not understand how that works? I barely survived. It's so hard. Oh, you have the new ancient cookie. Ooh, as a 1-star. I don't think that mine's even a 1-star yet. I think that my cocoa cookie, I think I just have the cookie. I don't think it's a 1-star yet. I've had really, really bad luck this season. My polls have been absolutely wretched. Absolutely disgusting. I've gotten shiny eyes from the witch. Like the last 5 times that I got shiny eyes from the witch, it was just random cookies. Like I got an almond cookie upgrade. I got a Kumio upgrade. I got like an espresso. Like it was just doing all of these random. It's just doing all these random epics that I don't care about that aren't good. I mean, almond is all right, but Like, it was just a bunch of random ones. And I'm like, give me the affogato cookie. That is what I want. I want affogato. It's supposed to be the most likely to get, but I'm still not getting it. You just put some tater tots in the oven? Ooh, I think I'm going to have tater tots tonight. I think I'm going to have tater tots and chicken nug. I got some chicken nuggets that were vegan. They were pretty good. The only thing wrong with them is that I think that they were a little over seasoned, but that's probably like to hide the fact that they're not meat. They were pretty good. Like the first one that I had, I was like, this is kind of gross. But I got used to it. I got kind of used to the taste of them. Meatless chicken nuggets. They were really good. I was surprised. I also was, I stayed up all night one night and I was like, what the heck? I can go get some breakfast at McDonald's. Finally. I never get breakfast at McDonald's because I'm never up early enough. Unfortunately, I got there and they were already, it was 10 a.m. and they were already shutting down the breakfast, which is a shame. But they had a, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like called a McLeaf. And I like laughed. I laughed while I ordered it. I think it's called a McLeaf. I'm trying to remember. Is it a McPlant? Does anybody know what it's called? It's the non-meat burger. Is it a McPlant? It's a Mc something, and it is really funny to me. I had to laugh out loud. But yeah, vegan burger at McDonald's. It was pretty good. It's a McPlant. Yeah, I tried it. My actual only complaint with the McPlant is that I didn't like how many tomatoes were on it. I feel like they probably put a bunch of tomatoes on it to like help you not focus on how it's not meat. Like as a distraction. I won that, dude. It's gonna be called a McPlant. What do you mean gonna be called? I ate one. I had tried it. It was on the menu, but it was pretty good. It's pretty good. The tomatoes, there's too many tomatoes on it. I took off a couple of tomatoes and it was better. It had like 6 slices of tomatoes on it. But the patty was pretty good. It tasted kind of like hamburger. I mean, it had like mayo on it. It had, you know, like lettuce, onions. It was really tasty. It did have cheese on it, which I thought was a weird move. I forgot to say no cheese because I was like, it's a vegan burger. But it isn't. It's a vegetarian burger. It's no meat, but we're still milking cows out here. But thankfully, I could peel it off really easily. Oh, Ann, you gotta go to sleep? All right. Nighty night. Nighty night, Ann. We'll play some 7 Days soon. We'll play some 7 Days to Die soon. I will get a I just have to figure out how I'm gonna play it with so many people because I have a bunch of people that want to play with me at the same time, and I'm getting annoyed about switching between characters in that game. Because in 7 Days to Die, if you switch maps, you lose everything. Nothing is kept on your character. Everything is map-based. So once you generate a map, you can change like the map settings and spawn settings and stuff, but you lose all of your items. And I mean, obviously, like my solo map is the good one. But something happened to me, Linz. Something horrible. Something wretched. I can think of nothing worse happening. Honestly, the worst thing that you could imagine in 7 Days to Die happened. I was building up a base. I was just building an alchemy station. So my alchemy station was like being built on my workbench. So I had a workbench, alchemy station, forge. I was bussing. Like I had all the stuff. I had 4 full chests of items, and I was like, this is going great. I'd survived like 3 7th days. Things were going well. And then I went out to go do some more missions, and I did not pay attention to what my mission was. And my mission was to clear zombies in the house that I'd taken up residence in, and I didn't realize that it was that house. So I accepted the mission, and it reset the property and removed all of my stuff. It just completely reset it. It removed all the items, all the boxes, all the chests, everything. It removed the crafting station. Poof, gone. I didn't store things in my mini bike. I only had what was in my inventory. So I only had my weapons. I had just taken out all of my steel pipes. I'd taken out all of my metal. I had tons of like iron ingots and everything. I was totally bussin'. I actually almost made this. I was one short. I mean, I wasn't, I don't think I wasn't close to 4th. But still, not bad. Yeah, okay, so I'm never taking up residence in a house ever again. First thing I did was go and build a house. How's that even fair? Oh, what, the resetting the house? It's not fair, it's just unfortunate. It's just how the system works, because it has to clear everything in the house and reset it to a certain state so that you can do the mission. It's a mission thing. Yeah, but it's ridiculous. It's a bummer. Would a claim block have stopped that? Probably. I deleted my claim block on that map accidentally. Yeah, a claim block probably would have fixed that, come to think of it. You make a fine point. I have not used a claim block. I don't think I've ever used one before. That probably would have fixed that. The reset happened to a friend of yours too. She was not happy. I mean, the best part was that I still had my weapons, I still had my ammo, and I still had a mini bike. So, not too bad. Not too bad. I did have all of those, so I just relocated to a new area, built a house from scratch, and I'm still getting associated with the area. I had some extra skill points too, so I put some into like surviving the cold. So I'm gonna live in the cold area for a while, loot up there. But that has nothing to do with this game. This game was pretty fun. I think we're going to call it a night. It's getting late. We're gonna make this a little short streamy, bonus streamy. We got to play Kirby. We got to talk a bunch. We got to play some Kirby. We got to try Chocobo. That's pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. Thanks for being here. There we go. Got some Kirby music. Kirby's so cute. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's so much fun. The demo's great. I mean, I played the demo twice. I played the demo tonight and the night before. It's so much fun. I cannot wait for Kirby. It's going to be great. We're going to be able to build Waddle Town, upgrade stuff. I'm excited. Also, I was thinking I should put my skull back here. I wonder how it looks. It's so creepy. I love this skull. Especially in like the lighting conditions that it's normally under. It's so cool. I really want this thing to be emptied so that I can put in like a light into it. It's so cool. There we go. Now I look like a goth girl. I look like a goth girl with my glass skull next to my vine plant. Right? My vine plant and my glass skull. Very gothic. I like it. Noise. Don't drink it all in one shot. No. I've had this since maybe like July or something. I think of last year. Like I've been very slow. That's the one you got for Halloween last year. I think so. Yeah. I don't drink that much. Nice bonus stream. Heck yeah, Lens. Thanks for chilling with us. No, thank you. Night, everyone. Have a good evening. You too, Callie. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Don't leave. Rosera. I have to go. I can't help it. Oi. Let's raid somebody. Who we gonna raid? Oh, and Pixelated Noms, you stayed till the end. Nice. Oi. It was great to see you again, Pixel. Thank you again for the support, and thanks for being here. Thanks for making beautiful art and making our first ever emotes. Our first ever emotes are made by Pixelated Noms. Oh, heck yeah. Let's see. We could go say hi to onion rings. Ooh, onion rings are so good. I love onion rings. Onion rings are delicious. I think I'm gonna eat tater tots and chicken nuggets tonight. Tater tots, chicken nuggets. I always have to decide which red sauce I'm gonna dip it into. because I have sriracha, so it's either sriracha or ketchup. Sometimes I'll mix the sriracha and ketchup together to have spicy ketchup. That's pretty delicious. The Crane couple are streaming. Yeah, they're just chatting. They're at Vegas. They're Vegasing. Also, Drex, thanks for being here. Oi, oi, oi. Bye-bye. See you later. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we're gonna play Elden Ring. I wanna beat that boss now. I'm getting angrier just thinking about it. We really need to continue it because I think that I might beat that boss and then I will feel free to play the game off stream. But I will not feel comfortable playing that game off stream until we beat that boss. Because I really want y'all to see the progress. I really want y'all to see me spank that boss. And I want y'all to see all of the progress that we do to get there. We need to beat that boss together. And then I might play offline and just fight bosses with y'all, possibly. And just not do the like grinding aspect of it. Like maybe I'll just level myself up and then like try to fight bosses with y'all. I'm not sure, but I want to play Elden Ring on stream or not. So we need to beat that boss. Let's slaughter the boss. And then on the 25th is when Kirby comes out. That's on Friday. So maybe we'll play Elden Ring tomorrow. We'll play something on Tuesday. Maybe we'll play Stardew Tuesday. Maybe it'll be Stardoozy. Star Tuesday. Tuesday Valley. I think I'm probably gonna take Wednesday off. I think Wednesday is gonna be the day that I take off this week, which is pretty common. And then maybe I'll take off either Saturday or Sunday. I don't think I have any plans set up right now. So the futures kind of are oyster, and I don't have any days that I definitely need to take off. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty open. So we'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear. You can assume I'll be here every day except for Wednesday. But yes, let's go say hi to. I want to say hi to our friendo. Oh, Minnie's playing Kingdom Hearts. That will not convince me to play that game. Oh, by the way, yeah, I do. I want to expand my. I want to not be like a bad person anymore. Like I want to improve myself. I feel like I can be a bit of a curmudgeon with some things and be kind of whiny. So I do want to play. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I do want to play Kingdom Hearts and I want to enjoy it. Like I want to enjoy this game. I'm getting sick of the negativity that I've got inside about that game. And the more that I play and watch and experience things that I was scared of, the more I enjoy them. Like with Turning Red, I thought that Turning Red was going to be a Garbo movie. Like the trailers looked horrible. And they made me cringe. But then the movie was great. Like I didn't give in to my fear and we watched it and it was good. Like I'm getting sick of that. Like I keep running into situations where I'm like, oh, the thing that I was scared of is something that I really enjoy. So I do want to play those games at some point. Maybe I just need to play them off stream. Possibly. It would be fun to have like first impressions, but I feel like I would be more tempted to disparage them if I was playing them live because of the meme potential. So not sure, but it's been on my mind. Also, Ocean Wolf, you came here at the end. Oh no! Yeah, we're about to raid somebody. Ocean Wolf, thank you for being here. Yeah. Oi. I'm glad that you got to jump in, Ocean Wolf. I'll be back tomorrow. Today was only a little tiny short stream. Sorry for the shorty streamies. Let's go say hi to Frick. I hate picking where to go. I hate it. That's good. You're opening up your horizons, basically. Yeah, I wanna get better at that. Except for I'm not gonna be opening up my Horizon Zero Dawn because that's where I draw the line. All right. Listen, I'm willing to learn, but only to a certain point. I'm not playing like PlayStation exclusive games. Sorry, no Gears of War here. That's Xbox. We're gonna let's go say hi. Oh, they're playing the Call of Cthulhu. I love that game. I would play Call of Cthulhu right now. I love Call of Cthulhu. This game's so good. Ooh, who's Shinnifer? I know this person. Why am I following them? Who is this person? A variety streamer? It's an 18+ community. Oh. But it's Call of Cthulhu. This game's so good. Oh, it's so spooky. Do we know Shinnifer? Do you know who? Does anybody know who Shinnifer is? Is that like a friend of a friend that I know? Never got the second ending. It's true. We could play it again. It's really good. You've not played that game? It's an Eldritch horror game. It's like what is it called? Lovecraftian. It's such a pretty game. That's like first and foremost. First thing that jumps out at you is that the game is so gosh darn beautiful. Like the environments and the colors. It isn't just like pure sharpness of graphics. It's the design and the palette. It's so beautiful. Cosmic horror, yes, cosmic horror, all that Lovecraftian business. But like the story is pretty interesting. The puzzles are pretty interesting. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's quite good. And just because of the nature of it, yeah, the puzzles are good. The puzzles are good, and I mean, since it's a puzzle game, it's a little short, but for being so short, it feels like a lot of story, a lot of puzzles, a lot of environments to traverse. It felt very what is it called? Like varied, I guess. Very varied. I don't think that's the way to say it, but it had varied environments and everything. It was very nice. We should play that though. We should play it again and get the other ending, because you get to choose at the very end, like whether or not you want to be a good person or a bad person. And honestly, is it Call of the Sea? Oh yeah, not Call of Cthulhu. Oh yeah, it's called Call of the Sea. Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is an actual horror game. Oh yeah, it's it's the Call of the Sea that I played. Everything that I said is completely true about a totally different game. It's everything that I said is 100% true of Call of the Sea, and none of it is true for Call of Cthulhu. I cannot vouch for Call of Cthulhu. That game looks too scary. That game's gross. No. No Call of Cthulhu. Banned for even mentioning it. Now I remember what game you're talking about. I'm sorry, we didn't play Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, that's like a legit horror game. We're not playing that. Oh, we could go say hi to Lucilia. Who has rabbits? I want to see rabbits. I know that Eighth Recluse raided somebody with rabbits the other day, and I don't remember who they are. I hope I followed them. They're so cute. They had 2 rabbits, and they like called them. They called them, and then they like pet them. They were so cute. I wonder, surely I followed them. Surely. Oh no, Linz, don't say that. You could get another rabbit. You could get another rabbit, Linz. After your heart is done healing. You could always get another one. They will not be a pook, but they will be a rabbit nonetheless. But we could go say hi to our favorite pig person. Let's go say hi to our pigly friend Lucilia, who is playing Super Mario 64. She's so much more of a gamer than I am. She is super impressive. Like she does challenge runs. She does speed runs. She does harder games than I play. Lucilia is so impressive, and she could outgame me any day in probably any game that as long as she got to choose. She's a freaking hardcore gamer. She's super sweet. She has really funny pig emotes, and she's a lot of fun. We're gonna go say hi to her. She's playing Super Mario 64, which is a game that I'm not very good at. That's another. I haven't even beaten that game. She's probably like speedrunning it right now. She's probably kicking buns out of here. Yeah, 12-star D Rusty time. She is speedrunning Mario right now. I'm so impressed. She's one of my only friends that like speedruns games. Or at least I'm saying friends, like I've rated her a few times. She's been in my chat before and she's really nice. But okay. We're gonna just say like I guess we can just say squirrel raid. That's pretty basic unless y'all can think of something. She does have pig emotes. We could make something pig related. Pig related, we could say like definitely, I think that we've already made like ham puns before. I'm not sure if we should do that. I think we're just gonna do squirrel raid, right? Should introduce you to Emerald. Is there another person? Another hardcore gamer? Is that why you're saying that? Emerald is a hardcore gamer? Yeah. Do drop it into the feedback and I'll give him a follow. Piggy dippin'? Piggy dippin' is all that you can think of? That's horrible. Piggy dippin'? No, we're doing squirrel raid. If you don't have the emotes, you can just spam a hello message. Let's go say hi to Lucilia. She's super sweet. And thanks for being here, you guys. I love y'all so much. Thanks for vibing with me and for all the support. It's absolutely crazy that I've been able to go 2 years without having a real job. Thanks guys for making it so that I don't have to have a real job right now. I really appreciate it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I feel super duper lucky. And I will never be used to it. And I will never be not amazed by it. Thank y'all so much for all that you do. Let's raid Lucilia and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. I'll get it started. And shouts out and thank you so much to Alchemic and to Linz for watching over the chat. Y'all are the ones tonight. Y'all are the ones tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching over. Let me see. What is it? Lucilia? How do you spell? There it is. God dang. Okay. We're gonna go say hi. Yeah, thank you so much, Alchemic and Lens, for watching over the chat. I didn't see Die. Die is another mod that watches over the chat quite often. And Jedi Aurora. That's all of them. I only have 4. Thank you all so much for what y'all do. I would not be streaming without my mods, so put some love in the chat for the moddies, for the bodies that have the moddies. Also, VIPs, thanks so much for hanging out all the time. Lemonberry, Calico, Kuri, Minnie, King of Squirrel, Opes, Rosera, Shiny Glalie, thank you so much. And to everybody that was lurking in the background, everybody that was chatting, everybody that gave some bits or gave a sub or just said hi or didn't say hi, thank you so much. I love y'all all. All right, let's go. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Till tomorrow. Thanks for being here, Delphina. Miss Obi, always nice to hang out with you. All right, go. Good night, Rosera. Good night, Linz. Good night, Ahsoka. Ah! Okay. It's such an obnoxious ending. Thanks for watching videos, guys. Videos of mine.